right. Look, we can just hope till 10. No, I think we are not going to make it to the playoffs, even if we win tonight. Is that right?
Welcome in, folks. Ralph B. Adams Stadium here in beautiful Cuyahoga Heights, Ohio. Week 10 of the high school football season comes to a close. The regular season coming to a close here tonight across the states. Action for you on ChagrinValleyConference.com. The Independence Blue Devils visiting the home Trinity Trojans here on CVC TV. Double A Anthony Alford joined by yours truly, Kyle Cornell, on the broadcast tonight. Part 2 of the doubleheader this week. And Double A, this time yesterday, talking about two teams that were still hoping to possibly squeak into the playoffs there. Unfortunately, with the seedings, it's not working out that way, but still a lot on the line as we kind of head into this final matchup of the season for both teams tonight.
Yeah, something we talked about even yesterday while we were at Orange. You know, the top priority, sending these seniors off nice. You know, they have earned it, they deserved it, and everything that, you know, all the hours and sweat that they put into these programs. So that's the first step, but also, obviously, with, you know, knowing that this is the last game, you know, who's going to be motivated to close this one out and have a showcase game? Well, we witnessed yesterday a few trick plays, so you might see some stuff here tonight, this being the finale.
And again, really, for the visiting team, First Independence, tough start to the season. Remember some injury problems. We had them obviously earlier in the year, too, on CVC TV, a matchup, I believe, against these Cuyahoga Heights, this home team as well.
Yeah.
That's kind of hosting Trinity as a home field, too. Since then, though, 3-game win streak. We talked about it. They've been on a roll to close the season, looking to keep that effort up after that 6-game losing streak to start the year. During this 3-game win streak, Independence almost 31 points per game. And again, they have a 3-1 conference record as well in that Metro division of the CVC, looking to finish near the top at the end of the season here. Again, conference pride, too, a big part of that.
Remember, we talked about the Blue Devils when we had their last game. It was just all the quarterbacks they had to start. You know, they had to use 4 different quarterbacks to start the season. That is impossible for any team. I don't care what level you're talking about, from Pee Wee to the NFL. You got to do that. But they overcame all of that. And the Blue Devils, you know, a little bit of a run here, and they have an opportunity to close this thing out. And for Trinity, again, can they put a complete game together? You know, their issue has been really stacking with, so can they put a complete contest together and get the W to close out the season?
Yeah, Trinity, again, they had a 5-game losing streak during this season, too, but have won 2 of the last 3 as well. So they've been able to kind of find themselves a little bit again in the second half of the year. When you get inside conference play, especially in CVC, you see some more closer games, especially, too, because the teams know each other so well.
Yeah, and that's huge. You know, the knowledge, the coaches know each other well. You know, the play calling and whatnot. So, you know, it's gonna be big time here as we close out here week 10 of the regular season.
How fast is this season gone, by the way? My goodness, it flew by.
Hard to believe what mid-August started the regular season, and here we go.
Yep, as it's going to be Trinity getting the opening return to start, where I should say close up Week 10 action. Here at ChagrinValleyConference.com, kickoff underway, and so are we. Fielded at the 20-yard line. As Mario Muniz, he breaks inside and gets spun down at the 30-yard line, and that's where the Trojans will start on their first offensive drive of the game.
Great speed on the return to get things going for Trinity. And we're going to find out here, pretty decent field position to start things against pretty athletic Blue Devils defense.
And 2 junior quarterbacks tonight, of course. On the Trojan side, another look at Aiden Duncan. Fantastic athletes. Going to line up under center. Again, Trinity running that unique offense. And it is going to be a pitch to the outside. Carry for the Trojans, turning up the right side and down after a gain of about 7. D.O. Jackson with the carry.
Remember when we had Trinity, I believe we had their game against Hawken back in week 2 on a Saturday.
Yeah, go figure.
a lot of speed from Jackson, the senior tailback, and
oh no,
he'll be good. But we have an injury on the field.
It looks like number 60, Brandon Pineda, senior offensive tackle, collapsing there at the end. It's like maybe a lower leg injury off the solid carry to start the game for Trinity. You mentioned both these teams finding themselves Double-A in the second half of the season here after a couple lengthy losing streaks on both sides to start the season. You get some of those non-conference games or conference but not in division games against some of the better talented schools too, to test your team obviously earlier in the year to kind of get them ready for this conference schedule, this division schedule in the last half of the season. Both these teams kind of building that and using it to their advantage. It gave them a chance to obviously be competing for a postseason spot, but unfortunately, yeah, just the luck of the draw not falling either one of these teams' way.
Well, I think what you found interesting, and we've talked to multiple coaches throughout the CVC, and as you mentioned, the early part of the schedule is loaded. But I'll say that it gives your kids an opportunity to face top-level competition. You learn from that, and you get valuable lessons out of that.
And say Pineda able to limp off the field. Not sure what happened. It came later in when they were about to run the second play on offense there for the Trojans.
Yeah, I believe he tried to get back into the huddle and then
just could not make it back. He fell down to the ground. Hopefully, young man's going to be okay. Talk about Brandon Pineda, one of the senior, again, linemen on this this Trinity squad. We mentioned just getting hot at the right time here at the end of the year and try to make a run. As we'll head back to action on the field now. Second and about 3. And off on the inside, and not much going right there for the Trojans. And that was Mario Nunes on the carry, and he could not get really anything on that run, Double-A.
But, when you run this type of offense, even a short yard game is still a success because this type of offense, you want to keep the defense honest.
Right.
So you want to force Independence to respect every single form of the running attack.
All right, so 3rd and short. And a big stop down the middle. Couple different players in there, including 63, Tommy Erdman, one of the seniors on this Independence defense, able to get in the backfield and no gain, actually a loss of 2, going to force a 4th down.
Oh, you got to love how Erdman got right in there, read it, and just attacked. He did not think twice. He saw what he needed to see, went right through the gap, and made the big play.
So, going to be a punt away. Remember, Aiden Duncan does double down as the punter, too. He'll smack one down the field on the right sideline, get a bounce, and go behind the 20, and that ball is going to roll out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. So, solid punt by Aiden Duncan, and that's where Independence will have their first offensive possession. The last time we called an Independence game, we got to see the awesome student section at their home field.
Yeah, we did. I don't think they're here. Well,
you never know.
There are some that are here.
If you see a wireless speaker floating around in the crowd, you know obviously that means Independence, the student section is
That
here.
is right. That was there. Well, remember earlier today we saw the Ohio State game, and one of the things that was in question, of course, the punt return, and you want to make sure, football is not bouncing off your leg if you're the return team. So, complete discipline is there. You learn that even from the college game.
All right, here we go. 1st and 10 for Independence. Going off throwing, it is caught. Nice throw and catch by the Blue Devils. And I believe that's going to be enough for a 1st down. Got 11 on the play. Good throw and catch there from the junior quarterback Dominic Narduzzi to his receiver, Rocco Ressler.
Yeah, good find. Thought, man, might get there a little bit late, but Ressler was able to get up there, make the play, big body, but snagged it down, make the catch for the 1st down.
Doesn't hurt when you're 6'3". You can get up there and make that play.
Doesn't use your body to your advantage.
So here we go, 1st down. Again, for one play, 1 1st down for Independence. Narduzzi cutting back inside. He's going to break back to the outside. Tries to turn the corner. He gets spun down. And there's a number 50, Christopher Roberts, Jr. for Trinity, able to get on the play and spin down Narduzzi. He got about a gain of about 3.5 yards.
And I'll tell you what, Cameron Carter, number 59, he's not going to get credit with the tackle, but he stayed home and, forced the offense to stop down, and the rest of the defense was able to corral around the football.
Well, that's a second and about 7 yards or so. On their own 34 for the Trojans. And Narduzzi going to keep it again, cut upside and get near that first down. He should have got just enough, about a yard pass, and that's going to move the chains. 8 yards and a first down for Narduzzi.
And that's what was missing those first initial weeks when he was hurt. His explosiveness, his ability to make plays with his legs as well as in the air. And that was missing the first initial weeks, but that's what he adds to this offense.
So how about 11 yards to the air, 11 yards on the ground for Narduzzi, and 2 first downs for the Blue Devils on their opening drive here in the first quarter. Man in motion is Wrestler. Looking to pass Narduzzi off his back foot, and it's going to be low and incomplete. Pressure in the middle caused that ball to drop just short. Of course, he was looking the receiver out on the right side, just couldn't complete it.
And I'm glad you mentioned the pressure up the middle because that affects the timing. And just wasn't ready to throw the football at that point in time. And, you got to utilize where you want to go with that. But that's how you need to attack. You're the defender, go right in, blast the blocker. You have the size advantage, go right in and make the play.
Side Jolliffe, who was on the attempted throw and catch. He's in motion now. And Jolliffe going to get the ball on the left side, trying to turn upfield, and there's a flag that comes in late. It's usually in the air of holding or a block in the back. We'll see what it is. Jolliffe got back to the line of scrimmage, but nothing more than that.
No, that was a tough play to make. We'll see what the penalty is going to be against the Blue Devils.
It is going to be a hold double A, so we'll back it up just a bit. First penalty against the Blue Devil offense tonight.
Good perimeter defense for Trinity, getting right over to the sideline. And, we saw that last night. We've seen defenses throughout the CVC this year. A lot of speed on the defensive side. It's been extremely tough for some of these tailbacks in our conference to be able to get around the corner to make the big play.
So we'll redo second down, just 10 yards further away, 2nd and 20. On their own 32-yard line for Independence. Doozy again in the shotgun. He's going to drop back to pass and look to his right, throw over the middle, and it is caught. Past the original line of scrimmage and a few yards more. Great throw and catch. That was, again, to Side Jolliffe. Got nothing on the run, but the tight end got the catch and got essentially first down yards. Problem was they had the penalty, so now it's going to be 3rd and about medium.
Yeah, but good find, be able to find a man and, to make the play and, good decision making. We're already seeing from the quarterback even a little bit of improvement from the game we had a few weeks back. His decision making, step back, making the play.
So empty set, 2 wide to the right, trips to the left. And Narduzzi going to keep it himself, cut inside, still going through, fighting for yards, still on his feet, and going to be very close to the first down marker. Theo Jackson came out with the ball. He thought it was a fumble. And they're going to say, just about a yard, maybe a half a yard short.
His legs just driving through. And, man, that was just impressive. Just impressive to see.
And Narduzzi put his head down and pretty gets you 5'10", almost 180. He's trying to push forward. And 4th and short, we're going to see decision time.
Oh, they have to go for it here.
The Independence coaching staff and Rick Adams and company, and they will double A. Yep, Narduzzi again. Going to roll to the left. He's got some room. He's got a beat to the outside. He does. Narduzzi turns upfield, gets the first down and more. Needed 1, got about 5.
His speed, man. And just when you think, great, would make that play defensively, you're right there. He just has the ability to make that turn and make the play.
Great job by Narduzzi. 4 carries, 20 yards on the ground. He's got 26 yards through the air in the first drive in this first quarter. As we're past the halfway point in the first frame, still 0-0, but the Blue Devils now driving on the other side of midfield. Narduzzi again in that shotgun. Looking to his right, it's under pressure. It's going to be a screen up the middle. It is caught. Here we go. There's Wrestler back upfield and gets past the first down, or is he right at it? We'll see. It's going to be close.
And I'll tell you what, and they are going to move that for a first down, Kyle.
Yeah.
Perfect play call. You got aggressive defense, perfectly executed screen right up the middle. Go right in, get the first down.
Great read, too, by the junior quarterback. Mentioned 2 really positive young junior quarterbacks in this game. Good matchup between Aiden Duncan over on Trinity sideline, and of course, the man on the field now, Dominic Narduzzi. Both have shown highlights throughout the year. Both expected to be solid seniors. Next year, we're going to be keeping an eye on here in the CVC. So it is 1st and 10 on the 34. And big bring down there. Still fighting out for yards. I'll tell you what, that should have been a loss about 2-3, but kept spinning and kept going and made that interesting.
I'll tell you what, good find there by Roberts to make the defensive play, but you're exactly right. I mean, taking on the mantra of, you keep going until you hear the whistle. You go through the whistle, and, and that's exactly what you heard there.
Yeah, literally now it's going to be 2nd and long. The Blue Devils and flag coming in. Looks like that's going to be offside, I believe, on the Trojans. So let's move the ball 5 yards forward. So, hey, that run that was supposed to go for negative yards and got back to the line of scrimmage, well, we'll just call it a 5 yards.
Yeah, and that's just, got to focus in. But what a first drive here for the Blue Devils so far. It's just being able to just move down the field, variety in their offense, and just operate.
Kornick in the backfield, and there it is. Narduzzi going to line it up, throw. I'm going to fall. Receiver drops to the floor. There's the flag. It comes in late. Yeah, and that was just, I thought maybe it was a trip and a slip, but maybe there was some contact instead, and that's going to be pass interference, and it should be a spot foul.
Well, the refs were right on it. It might be, this level, it might be 15 yards. Here with the PI.
Yeah, normally when you get in this area, it can be depending. We're going to see where the ball's going to get placed, and it looks like 15 or spot either way, kind of almost in the same exact spot.
It's essentially, Phil's NFL rules, this is essentially the same spot.
This is where you tell me I'm wrong, though. It's going to be 1st and 10.
I hear it enough on my end the rest of the week, so.
It's okay. I believe in you, buddy. It's going to be a handoff on the inside. Turning upfield, still pushing forward. Take that gain.
See, this is what Week 10 brings you here, Kyle. You're going to, those extra yardage. And I think we've seen the Blue Devils talk about yards after initial contact, even this last play, probably about 5 yards after initial contact, just getting that extra work.
Yeah, Trinity's been able to do that, but unfortunately just have not been able to bring down in the offensive players. So here we go. It's going to be 2nd and 5 on the 9. They can't get a first down before trying to score. Kornick inside.
Speed. We'll see what her spot's going to be ruled here. Might be about a yard short.
It's going to be tight now. Again, 3rd down and short on the way. Again, Independence can get the first down without having to score here, even though they're inside the 10. Only need 2 yards to get a fresh set of downs, which when you have running offenses, you can do that.
Very curious to see, Kyle, the direction that they go. Got 3 receivers lined up, the bottom.
And it is going to be a run up the middle. Going to be a keeper for Narduzzi, and they're going to say, I believe he was short. It's going to be a first down regardless. The coaching staff here wanted that touchdown. Narduzzi just about a yard short.
Well, I'll tell you what, the blocking earned the touchdown. I'll say that, the blocking, from the linemen, also for the receivers that's lined up there. You have that commitment, but just a yard short.
All right, so Independence fresh out of downs. It's like 4 chances to get a yard. Narduzzi ready. He's going to keep it himself. Breaking to the left side, and he's going to go into the end zone for a touchdown. Jackson too late. Dominic Narduzzi gets in the end zone for the first time tonight, and the Blue Devils take an early 6-0 lead.
And notice what they did there the last 2 plays, spreading the offense out. You see it on the replay.
It's a wide open hole there, too. And
yeah.
P.L. Jackson trying to cover some ground, but couldn't get there in time, and that's going to lead to that 6 points.
And that's the thing. And some of the receivers you didn't even see in the replay. They were off the screen on the left side.
Yeah.
And as a defense, you have to respect it. But because of that, Narduzzi's been able to get great yardage the last 2 plays. This one leads to a score.
Extra point is up, and it is no good. Maybe a little wide left there, Double A. So the score is going to stay at 6-0 with 2:33 to go in this first quarter. The visiting Independence Blue Devils on top of the home Trinity Trojans here at Ralph P. Adams Stadium in beautiful Cuyahoga Heights, Ohio. Our regular season finale. SugarValleyConference.com, your high school football season, Week 10. We're going to talk, obviously, some playoffs later on in the broadcast. A lot of these teams are set in. 12 CVC schools making the postseason this year. Not
Incredible.
bad. We'll take that, right?
Incredible,
Couple of possible favorites as well to win. Maybe even go to the state finals in a couple different divisions here. We're going to talk about those guys coming up in a little bit after halftime. Still focusing on the game at hand tonight, too, between Independence and Trinity. And yet, Double A, if there's ever such thing as a methodical drive, I think we just saw it from the Blue Devils.
Yeah, very physical drive, very well thought out, great game plan just to open things up. You know, you got the quarterback right there, you know, just operating and it was very confident decision making and a great mix throughout that first drive there for Independence. Now for Trinity, how will they respond on the offensive side, for their second offensive drive of the game?
Gonna have to. Again,
by the way, I love this stack kickoff formation here. I love it. I don't know why. Makes it a little difficult if you're the return team to figure out who to block until right after the kick.
Or you can kick it over everyone's head and it can just go through the back of the end zone and never have to worry about it.
Oh, yeah, that works too.
So we'll bring the ball out and we'll do it all again. It's, Trinity's offense will get their second crack at the Blue Devils' defense, and the Trojans on that first drive just unfortunately could really get nothing going. Saw a couple carries from Theo Jackson, and after that first run of 7 yards in that brief injury timeout, as looked like there was a penalty maybe. No, they moved back to the 20. Saw teams going back further than they were supposed to, but they're going to be good there. After that first 7 yard run, again, just a couple plays where they stalled out.
Yeah, and Trinity's offense, just the way that it operates, you want to keep everyone honest, but it's interesting here. Got it empty here to start this drive.
Trusting the quarterback, junior Aiden Duncan, getting that shotgun. He's going to keep it himself at the middle. Duncan turns upfield and gets stopped. Great job by Independence to snuff that out on the RPO, and it's going to force second and long. Great tackle there by 63 on the field. Tommy Urban. You're going to hear his name a few times tonight, the senior. Yeah,
you heard him a little bit earlier in the game, too. Duncan slipped up there. getting a little bit different footing. It has rained a lot over the last couple of days.
We know a little bit about that from last night.
Uh-huh.
Loved our visit to Pepper Pike and the Orange West Cuyahoga game last night. Just a downpour. A little drier tonight, which is a good sign. His second down handoff is going to get blown up in the backfield. Take your pick. A slew of Independence defenders got inside and made the play. Again, Jack Kornick was in there as well. One of the captains. Senior also for this Independence team, and it's going to force a 3rd and long.
And this defense, they are sniping out, these RPO plays and just attacking and reading the guard and going right in. And they're not second guessing either. So they're making plays right in that backfield. And Trinity's going to operate behind the sticks. 3rd and 12 coming up.
Yep, long 3rd down conversion attempt coming up for the Trojans. Deep in their own territory on their own 18-yard line. Duncan in the shotgun, looking to pass. Going to roll out to his right. He's got some room, some green grass in front of him. Duncan going to turn the corner, cut back inside, push through, and get near the 1st down, but he should be a few yards short.
That was a pretty good play there by Duncan. Pretty good. I don't know how he got out of there.
We talked about Aiden Duncan surprised us greatly against Hawken earlier in the season. Hawken, by the way, one of those playoff teams we'll talk about a little bit later. But I mean, took that play and had to go 13 yards, got about 11.
Yeah.
I mean, he did what you could in that spot, but it's going to force a 4th and short, and looks like it's probably going to be another punt. Expecting to see a lot. One of the benefits of having your quarterback, too, is your punter. You can mess around a little bit with some of those trick plays, but it looks like Duncan's just going to boot this one off. It's a low-line drive. It's going to bounce at the 40 and be picked up by Independence. Turning upfield, big one. Here comes Rocco Wrestler breaking right side. Cutting back in, slipped his Duncan, and Wrestler gets all the way down to about the 26-yard line.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Kyle, those line drive punts, it gives you an opportunity as a return team to really get things going. Makes it easy to set up blocks, too. And that's exactly what happened.
So there was a flag, and it's going to be want back a bit. So we could be moving backwards here for the Blue Devils after the great return by Wrestler.
Yeah, that's not me. I did not even see the flag.
Neither did I, Double A. I don't blame you on that one. And it's going to be a violation against the return team, the Blue Devils. So we're going to march this one back.
Well, you always say, you know, like, well, you get a great return.
Is there something that happened before that? You do see a lot of times, too, in some penalties that are called. Sometimes it's not the first person that does it, it's the second one who actually gets caught. That could have been the case there, too. Both teams kind of getting into it a little bit.
I love the return itself, though. Like, that young man's an athlete. I love the return itself.
Yeah, Russell on that line drive kick, rather, to knock that ball down almost like a third baseman on the hot corner and be able to respond with it, as now it's going to be first. And it's a fumble on the play. It's ball still squirting around down there. And Trinity saying they got it. They come out with the ball, and yeah, it's going to be Trinity football. Wow, the Trojans get the ball back. Xavier Wilson tried to turn the corner, slipped, lost the ball, and now the Trojans have fantastic field position.
Yeah, that handoff, it was not a clean handoff. Saw on the replay, and, you know, didn't have a chance. You know, there's just so much activity going on back there. If you don't get a clean handoff, put the ball on the ground.
Yeah, on the actual handoff on the play, almost like their RPO we talked about, we've seen Trinity run with that. Just never able to have that ball was Wilson, and then now it results in a turnover, and here we go.
It's amazing how all these RPOs have to happen to be flawless. We'll talk about that in a second. I want you to look at the screen right now. Oh, they're going back to the huddle. There was 4 receivers lined up here at the bottom.
Maybe one too many.
Well, it was 5 of them, then it would be a problem.
Yeah, then we have to have a talk.
Yeah. But, yeah, Trinity's going back to the huddle.
I'll tell you what, Trojans have some good field position now. After not being able to get much going on the offensive side, can they capitalize on that turnover, or can Independence bring the clamps down on defense and push them back again? Here we go. And Duncan in the shotgun. He is going to keep it himself. Duncan on the RPO, breaking to the right side. He turns up the field. Duncan's got room to run. He's going to get it out of bounds after a first down near the 30-yard line. Aiden Duncan.
Watch how when he runs, his stride is very, like, he opens up, like, with his stride. Like, he's eliminating steps, just how he's running with the football. And it's been a few times already we've seen in this game and in the game we had against Hawken, where you think you have him down, you don't. Like, you think you have the exact angle, you just don't, because he opens up his stride. Really, really excellent runner.
We've seen Duncan be able to throw, run, do pretty much everything for this Trinity offense. Need more of the same here with 32 seconds to go in this first quarter. Duncan going to break on the inside, keep it himself, and brought down. Solid tackle on the inside. And that was Kornick who got in. And a good stop on Aiden Duncan there. Kornick with a good tackle. That could have been bad. Breaking inside with Duncan. You're talking about who knows with his ability to make people miss. And we're going to stop at 8 seconds now. See
there was a few extracurriculars on the outside. The officials going to have to, they'll sort it out.
Reconvene here and have a little meeting at about the 30-yard line. Figure things out. See who that penalty was on for sure. A couple helmets, I think, came off at one point.
Well, yeah, it was I think the defender from Independence blocking the Trinity guy well after the whistle, but the response, helmet came off, so they're going to sort it all out.
All right, this looks like it is going to be both. We talk about dual penalties and replay of it down here, or how does that? Okay, so we just had one of the referees have air traffic control out there and waving the plane. but nevertheless, that is going to be 15 yards against the Trojans for unsportsmanlike conduct. So let's move it back all the way to the 44-yard line.
Yeah, I think the only thing that was called there was the helmet coming off.
We saw him point in multiple directions, yeah.
Yeah, you know, things happen, but, you know, we always say, like, you know, the last thing you see is what probably is going to be called. And, you know, and
well,
again, any situation, you know, helmet comes off, you know, that's going to always lead to a penalty.
All right, so that's going to end the first quarter here at Ralph P. Adams Stadium. The score is 6-0. Independence Blue Devils on top of the home Trinity Trojans here on ChagrinValleyConference.com. Hey, a reminder of our presenting sponsor for CVC TV, the Ohio Center for Oral Facial Implant Surgery, Drs. Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties include dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral Facial and Implant Surgery website. That's www.ohsurgery.com. Of course, thank you for your support of the Chagrin Valley Conference and CVC TV. Well, Trinity had an opportunity there, Double A, to move down the field a little bit more, and they're going to have their backs pushed back a little bit further to start the second quarter after that penalty.
Yeah, you know, they got to find a way right now to overcome adversity, and you know, and it's a tricky thing right now. You know, if you're, you know, coaching staff for both teams right now, you know, you're telling your players, you know, Coach McSweeney, Coach Adams, you're telling your players right now, got to be smart, out there. Do not retaliate to anything you think that is wrong. You know, be smart. And
that's the advantage when you were in 5th grade, right? I pushed the kid after he pushed me, but I got in trouble. There you go.
It makes it tough, though, but you don't want a 2nd and 24 because of that.
Right, exactly. That is where we are. As we start the second quarter, pass to the outside. It is caught, spin, and brought down after a gain of about 6. Thrown to the outside. That was actually, I believe, Lance Hudson who made the catch.
Yeah, good speed from him, but the defense for Independence is swarming, and that's been the case, you know, for this game so far. Very curious how Aiden Duncan and Trinity, how things are going to be handled here on this third down coming up.
It is a 3rd and very long here. Still have a long way to go, about 18 yards for that first down. Duncan going to roll to his right, looking. Duncan going to throw. It's up in the air, and it's over the sideline and incomplete. No one really in the area. Maybe going to talk about DeMonte McKenzie. That was kind of down that sideline, but that ball was thrown away and going to be 4th and long.
Yeah, Chris there, number 53, right on it. For the Blue Devils, the pressure slid off of his blocker, and Red right was on Duncan.
Yep, another one of those seniors. And back to Christ. So here we go. 4th and long. Aiden Duncan again, quarterback and punter. Lined up at about midfield. And Duncan with a booming kick. That one's going to be taken by Independence and brought back up the field. Spawn, but still staying on his feet. Breaking through.
Ball came out.
It did, and I think Trinity may have got that, and they did.
Yeah.
Wow.
That ball came out hot.
This is the replay of the pass earlier from Aiden Duncan. That ball went over the head against towards DeMonte McKenzie and company. And
yeah, that was good defense there leading in, but on the punt return, there was no bounce call, right in the air, but perfect hit. Ball came right out.
Well, line drive kicked you Double A. Normally in that situation, maybe just let the ball go through the end zone there and take the touchback just because of how hard it was kicked. But same point, get a little bit of a running start, try to turn up field, and there was some yards to gain there. Just couldn't hold on to the ball.
Well, we referenced the Ohio State game earlier, you know, the importance of special teams, and even in the punt, you know, just stealing a possession.
And I talk about trick plays. It's actually going to be a handoff. McKenzie breaking to the right side. He's cutting back in. McKenzie still on his feet, and eventually brought down. There's a flag on the back end of the play. We'll keep an eye on that. McKenzie had close to a first down, but I got a feeling this one's coming back.
Yeah, we'll see what the
Monte McKenzie turned and kept cutting back upfield, but unfortunately that's usually in the area of holding or a block in the back, and I think that's what we're going to see. So Trinity again going to move backwards. They've been getting a few gifts when it comes to a couple fumbles in this first half, but haven't been able to capitalize on the offensive end.
Yeah, you see some frustrations too from some of the players for Trinity, because it felt like you get a big play and then penalty brings it back. And now again behind the sticks.
They're going to be back at the 35-yard line now. Should be replay a first down, and it will be. So at first and about 20 on the 35-yard line of Independence for the Trojans.
What's amazing, Kyle, it's still good field position because of the turnover.
It really is. And again, still just a one-score game, 6-0 here with 10:30 to go in this first half. Duncan in the shotgun. Going to roll to his right. It's going to be an option pitch to the outside. McKenzie trying to find space. He spins back around. McKenzie makes a man miss. Still spinning. Looking like a washing machine out there, and he got back to about the 35-yard line. That should have been dead to rights, loss of about 5 yards, but DeMonte McKenzie able to just try and get a positive gain out of that at all.
I'll tell you what, good effort by McKenzie trying to get something. That was a very exciting no gain. It was, but it was good to see the fight on the offense side, and of course the defense, the pursuit, all those pursuit drills you work on. Just good to see there following up.
It's easy after one or two men miss to kind of fall off a little bit on the defensive end, but Independence still closing those gaps and making sure McKenzie couldn't escape, which was important there. As it's going to force again a second and long. Duncan looking to throw. Down line at the middle now. It looks like he may take off. Duncan going to roll to his right. He's got a lane. Going to throw it. Tipped and incomplete. Duncan could not get that ball down. He was near the line of scrimmage. I think he may have just been a hair behind it, so we're going to see a third and long.
That's a win, of course, for this defense. Try to flush Duncan out onto the near side of the field where you don't have that much room to operate, and you have 3 or 4 defenders right in front of your face. And it could have been picked off. I mean, so you flushing Duncan out, that's the strategy. That's what you want to do for the Blue Devils, successful that time on the second down.
All right, so third and long, 20 yards for the first down. Hayden Duncan and company have to go a long way. Duncan looking. He's going to run up the middle, cut back, and he's going to get brought down. No, still being spun around, still on his feet, but Duncan eventually going to go down. And that was 82 again inside Joliffe, who brought him down. It should have been, the ball should have been blown dead before the ball came out. So it's going to be fourth and long and first sack of the day.
And that's what you want. If you're Independence, you will take that all day. You will take that all day. You force Duncan to start taking off, you got the guys who can contain him.
And Duncan going to punt this one again at about his midfield spot. Trying to hold on to the ball here as that one's going to be shot back and going to be dribbling down.
Get away.
Can stop it, and looks like it's going to be into the end zone. That should be a touchback. Close, and line drive punt that almost was perfection there, but instead the ball going to get moved out to the 20, and that's where Independence will take back over.
Man, I'll tell you what.
Trinity had a couple opportunities there deep in the Independence side of the field and just could not push it through and get some positive yards back to back to back. Instead, now we're talking about the Blue Devils back with the ball with that 6-point lead and a chance to try and put together another drive on the offensive end.
Well, the receivers are well covered. I mean, that starts there. And if they're not getting open immediately, then, Duncan's going to try to take off. And the linebackers, the D-line for the Blue Devils, they're right there. Basically you almost have 1 or 2 guys on Duncan every play.
Yep, so 1st and 10 on their own 20. Wrestler in motion. Narduzzi in the shotgun. Wilson on his hip. He's going to roll to his right, looking, throwing. That one is caught and brought down for about 10. That should be a first down. That was 14. Jose Cabin. Yeah, freshman making a play.
Yeah, and good to see young guys stepping in there and, having that big opportunity. And Independence looking to move.
Yep, a little bit of quickness there. And yeah, looks like they were set on the offensive side. Narduzzi a little long. And that's going to be a penalty here for Independence. The ball going to move back a little bit further.
Yes. Yeah, so after all of that, not able to get things going here. And, we're seeing here early on the number of penalties adding up for both of these teams.
Yep, it's going to be another one for the Independence offense. That ball going to get moved back about 5 yards. So we'll replay, I believe replay first down here.
Well, first and 15.
Yep, from their own 31-yard line as we have about 8:20 to go in this first half. Narduzzi again going to look to pass. Looking, throwing. He's got a man up the middle. Breaking through. Wrestler gets it at the 40. He's running. It's a foot race. And he is gone. Rocco Wrestler gets into the end zone for a touchdown. What a pass for 59 yards.
Take a look here. Good ball. Get in the air in the stride. Open it up. Now, what I like to see here, run straight ahead. Do not worry about the defender back there. Just run straight ahead. But able to get the score. And the Blue Devils, once again, back on the scoreboard.
First touchdown pass of the night for Dominic Narduzzi. He has a rushing touchdown as well. A huge play, 59 yards to Rocco Wrestler. Now the extra point is up. It's high, it's arcing, and it is good. So the score now balloons to 13-0. Independence on top of Trinity here on CVC TV. Hey, let's talk about that scoreboard for a second. And our sponsor, Independence Business Supply. Of course, they're an Ohio-owned and operated company with full-service facilities here in Cleveland, capable of shipping supplies anywhere in the U.S. IBS is a business products dealer providing you with a single source for office products, facility and break room supplies, printing, promotional products, and furniture. You can visit orderibs.com to learn more about their products and amazing customer service. 59-yard touchdown right down the seam of the field, and now a 2-score lead for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, that was a good ball. A great recognition, and Wrestler was able to go right down the seam there and get the score. So the Blue Devils put in work there offensively. And again, we're going to see how Trinity can respond.
Have to now. It was a one-score game before. They had a couple opportunities, but Independence showing the big playability that's been able to get them that 3-game win streak going into tonight.
And again, look at this kickoff formation here. You got the stack here, so again, they're working out all week about who do you defend, who do you block.
Stack like those Oreos you like, because that kickoff is up and over the head of the Trojans, and that's going to go through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
I do like stacked Oreos.
They're not bad.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Not double stuffed though. You don't want those.
Sometimes too much cream.
It's way
just
too
a little
much.
bit too much.
It's way too much.
There's a balance. You got to find it.
Some consultants said, "Hey, we want more of those." No, they're idiots. You don't want to do that.
This is like, I think there's a triple stuff Oreo too, which is kind of nuts if you think about it.
Make them all deep fried.
Do you want some cookie with that cream that you have in there?
Yeah. Make them all deep fried. Put them in a.
That's the game changer altogether.
Absolutely.
Talking about game changers on the field,
not
off
healthy.
the field. Yeah.
We're going to see here. I want to see if these receivers can get open quickly here for Trinity. You don't want Duncan to, make one read and then take off. So we'll see here offensively if Trinity can make those adjustments.
He's been reading that one and getting out. Jackson going to get the handoff on the left side, cut through, and Theo Jackson gets about 3.
Good start there for Theo Jackson, who we have not really called his name since the first drive of the game.
He had that first 7-yard carry, but since then he's been quiet. It is second and about 7. High snap, corralled, taken back inside by Duncan. He's going to get spun down. Just behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by Independence defense to read that out. You talk about Tommy Urban back there making a big play.
Yeah, a great job by him too for eliminating the pitch option as well. So you don't have, McKenzie was out there. He had space to take off, but he eliminated that gap, could not get the ball pitched out there.
Yep, so here we go, 3rd down. And about long 6 with about 7 minutes to go in this first half. Duncan looking, going to roll to his right, under pressure, still looking. Flag comes in late on a hold. That one's caught, but that one's going to be going backwards. Theo Jackson made the catch, but That should be going backwards here.
Yeah, it's gonna be physical here. A lot of physicality here. Some chippiness.
And 56, Xavion Biggs, the senior tackle, upset with himself, got down to the crowd's position like he was about to catch a 95-mile-an-hour fastball and put his head and helmet in his hands there. So that's going to be the third penalty against this Trinity offense. And what would have been a first down, now going to head backwards.
And that's been a little bit of the story of the game. Anytime Trinity has had an opportunity to make a big play, it's either, for the most part, it's been a penalty. That's been pushing them back. And, again, they're going to be operating behind the sticks.
Ball behind now is going to be third and about 16. And play being called dead, I believe. Yeah, it's going to be a timeout.
Independence timeout.
Yep, from the Blue Devils, so that should be their first of the half. And again, we saw some positive momentum there from the Trojans on that last play, but penalties affecting both teams. Of course, Independence able to make the big play to get this 2-score lead, but for the most part, in this first half, been fairly close, AA. Obviously, we've seen Independence do a little bit more on the offensive end. The scoreboard indicates that too, but defensively, both teams finding a bit of a niche when it comes to trying to control the run game.
Yeah, they are. But I like the timeout that was just called there. It might actually help both teams. Right now the game is heading in a direction where, you don't want extracurriculars to affect the outcome of the game. So you want to calm your guys down. Just execute, be smart. If something does happen, you don't want to retaliate, because we did see a play earlier in the game where an extracurricular extra block happened after the whistle, but then the retaliation was called for the penalty. So calm the guys down, focus on the game.
We'll see if there's more magic with Aiden Duncan and company here on third and quite a ways. He's got trips out wide to the right, one wide left. Theo Jackson has been quiet, but he caught that ball but got called back. McKenzie in motion. Duncan looking, throwing, middle, tipped, and it's intercepted. And some room to run. Is it Wrestler again? I think it is, who got to the left side and is still being spun down at about the 7. Okay, it's a touchdown, and while you're at it, why don't you make a play on defense too?
Yeah.
Rocco Wrestler having a night. Look at this.
Yeah, it almost had a second touchdown, this time on defense, and they're forcing Aiden Duncan to rush here and throw, but also at the same time too, just one read, and it's just, it makes it tricky. And the defenders, they are right on it there. And the Blue Devils, 9 yards away from getting back in the end zone.
That's going to be first and goal inside the 10 for Independence off the amazing interception. Ball was tipped. And Rocco Wrestler, right place, right time. And as you mentioned, AA almost returned that one into the end zone again. He's missing it a little bit. He tried to get back in to the end zone there. And so he has to wait a little while longer. It's going to be first
also
and goal.
Their return man too. So he's all over the field.
See that from a lot of guys here. Narduzzi again in the shotgun. He's going to take that ball. Look, throw. It is going to be incomplete. A couple different receivers over there. Sam Crooks, as well as Charlie Meyer, I believe, in the area too.
Good start here for Trinity. This obviously, game-changing moment right here, right now. If Trinity can make the stop here, and maybe just force a field goal, there's still a lot of opportunity.
Which at this point, we've only seen one made field goal on CVC TV this year. See if we have to get another one. And Kornick going to get the ball and brought down. Solid tackle. Theo Jackson was there and made the play, and that's going to force a long third and goal.
Carter was in there too. That's really a real stat on the field goal on our network?
Only one made field goal.
Wow.
Yep. How about that?
Not a sure thing, and I know some teams don't have a kicker to kick field goals, others do, but you got something here.
Yeah, we've seen a few attempts, but not very many makes. We've seen a lot of extra points.
Watch the one-on-one matchup up top of the screen.
The AA called it, cut inside. That was almost intercepted. Oh my goodness, that was McKenzie, who was normally a receiver on the other end, and he has that kind of breakaway speed. If he makes that play, we're talking about 6 for the Trojans. Instead, the ball falls to the turf, and it's going to be 4th down and long.
You want that ball delivered quickly, and it just did not happen. He had the right matchup there, but you just want that delivered quickly. That did not happen. The defensive back was able to creep right in and make the play.
So, I talked about it.
Could this be field goal made number 2 for our season?
We're hoping there's no announcer jinx here as Cornick gets ready to line it up. Try to put it to the uprights. He's looking at, let's say, about 27-yarder. Kick is up. That one's got plenty of distance on it, and it is good. How about that? Second field goal of the year on CVC TV. Took to week 10, but we got another one. That means the score is going to go up to 16-0 now in favor of Independence.
Well, if that was missed, I was closest to the exit.
That was actually back in the woods. He booted that one pretty far.
Yeah,
so
he did.
Distance was not going to be an issue. It was good from about 50. Just had to make sure he got inside that upright, and it did. So
I will say, though, for Trinity, though, to, after the big turnover, to only give up 3, it's still a 2-possession game. So, that's huge for that result to take place.
And of course, when you talk about this team too in Trinity, a lot of these guys play both ways on offense and defense. So getting that kind of momentum, build a little bit on the defensive side. Can it transition now to the offensive side of the football? We'll have to wait and see. With 5:54, just over the halfway point of this second quarter. Again, still a 2-score game. Still.
And we talked about, and Kyle, we talked about several times, like all throughout the year, after a big play, if a big play doesn't go your way, an interception is thrown. Like, oh no, you can't like get down on it because you're right back out on defense for the most part, and you still got to play, still got to perform. And Trinity held on, only gave up 3.
The boys' favorite kicking formation here, stacked like a can of Pringles.
And then they fold inside there. You see that?
Yeah. Ball gonna get launched up, and here comes McKenzie. Taking the ball from his own 10, spinning upfield and brought down. Solid job on the return coverage there. Led by number 4 inside, Sam Bernhardt, the sophomore, able to make the play, and that's going to be a 1st down for Trinity.
Yeah, I like what I saw there. Xavier Wilson there, too. Like, just way to identify for the Blue Devils.
When you're getting multiple people to the ball in multiple situations, whether it's kick returns or on the defensive end, too, you like that as a coaching staff, I'm sure. That means a lot of guys are making the right reads.
And that also tells you, even on special teams, you're still committed. Sometimes you see a mix of upperclassmen and, the younger players, their first, way into varsity football is through special teams.
Oops, here we go, Duncan with McKenzie on his right hip. He's going to keep it himself. Aiden Duncan cutting inside. He's going to get snuffed out. Still on his feet. No, Duncan eventually going to get spun down maybe. It took a while for Duncan to go down. He eventually did. Good job there by Independence to stay with them because, again, spin cycle, he was trying to get through.
Tell you what, Xavier Wilson, number 40. Boy, coming through, identifying the play immediately. And again, not second guessing, just going right in and staying with the play and making things happen.
Yep,
Great angle, too.
Yeah, no gain on the play there. It could have been worse, but Duncan able to spin through and get at least back to the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and about 10. Duncan looking, throwing, and there is going to be no one in the area. That's going to be incomplete. Theo Jackson was running that route, and that ball thrown high. Pressure on the inside came from Independence there pretty quick.
Yeah, nobody had a chance to make that. Well, at least if that is the case, you're not going to throw an interception either. So
yeah, Joliffe got inside there, and he has 1 sack already tonight. And Aiden Duncan felt that, threw the ball away, so it's going to be 3rd and long. Duncan throwing the ball tonight, 1 of 4 with 6 yards and an interception. It came on the last drive, that tip pass that was taken by Wrestler.
I'll tell you what, this front 7, they're making things mighty difficult.
Nothing more difficult than a 3rd and long as Duncan going to look, going to throw out to the left side, through the hands of the receiver. It was McKenzie, and incomplete. It looked like maybe it was a screen or a quick out, and just nothing going right for this Trinity offense now as we move deeper into the second quarter.
Yeah, and then Charlie Meyer, number 10, was in the area, too. And just like you were saying, Kyle, just offensively, just everything feels rushed right now for Trinity. You know, they just can't get any flow going on the offense.
And Aiden Duncan again back to punt this ball away. Now an almost blocked. It's high in the air. And it's going to spin and get down at about the 47-yard line. That spun quicker than a top. And
you always worry about about how that ball's going to bounce.
Especially when you have multiple players in the area, too. No one touch it, that kind of thing. Let it fall and down it where you can unless it's going to bounce forward.
And that comes, again, from communication all throughout, like on the field. Like, you got to let your teammates know, too. Like, get away. Whatever your code word is to get away for the football, get away there.
Yep. So back onto the field comes Independence offense. Dominic Narduzzi tonight, 5 for 7, 105 yards and a touchdown pass. He's also got a touchdown on the ground, too. But the last drive, good field position, of course, off the interception from Wrestler, but Independence can only get 3 points out of it. And there was a near interception on the 3rd down and goal. Now we'll see if Narduzzi can respond and make this a 3-score game. He is in the pistol, trips to the right. Hornick. And Narduzzi going to launch again. He's got a receiver. It's up. It is stopped and incomplete. Couldn't make the play. Oh, my goodness. Wide open and just, yeah, good placement by Narduzzi, but a little bit of Butterfingers. Knew shouldn't have that pop.
Well, this is one of those things, too, where sometimes you're wide open.
Almost too open.
Pass, but you think sometimes, you think about the touchdown, think whatever the case may be, just, gap was there.
A little uncharacteristic of Wrestler. We used to see them make those plays, but we'll dial it up again now on 2nd down.
And believe me, they will go back to him.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be any doubt about that. Double is Narduzzi in the shotgun. Wrestler is in motion. He's actually going to keep it himself. Narduzzi breaking to the right. He's got a wall of Trojan defenders there, and he'll get maybe a yard, if that, on the play, so it's going to be 3rd and long.
So defensively, an opportunity here for Trinity again to perhaps make a defensive stop, but there are gaps open in the passing game as we have an injured Trinity player on the field.
And in a game that is now 16-0. Of course, while we pause for the injury timeout, we'll remind you of our presenting sponsor for CVC TV, the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Drs. Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. What are their specialties, you ask? Well, we'll tell you. And, of course, that includes dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. Hey, for all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website. That is www.ohsurgery.com. Of course, thank you for your support of the Chagrin Valley Conference and CVC TV. Just don't miss, of course, more game action. Is good to see. For Trinity, I believe that's 56. Xavion Biggs, one of the seniors on this club, defensive end, able to get up and jog off the field under his own power.
One of the seniors on the Trojans.
Of course, I mentioned, too, that after halftime, we'll talk more about playoffs. Going to have that for you at ChagrinValleyConference.com this year, too. Plenty of teams to choose from. Got 12. That made it from the CVC and the postseason play, expanded playoff format this year, which is good news for us.
It is, and we got the unofficial matchups we'll get to you in the second half.
Looking forward to that. Is Narduzzi going to roll out to his right, looking, throwing, and it is caught. And that's going to be a 1st down. Solid throw and catch. Who else? Wrestler able to make the play.
That's a good find right downfield at 2nd level. Able to make the play, and Blue Devils finding some success. Plenty of success to this point in the passing attack to get big plays.
Take that. 1st and 10, and going to be a timeout by Trinity. That'll be their first of this first half. 2 more remaining. Had too many men on the field. You guys are running off. Independence trying to get the playoff. Just couldn't get there in time before the Trojans were able to take that timeout.
Absolutely, absolutely. You do wonder, again, how will everybody react? Week 10, we mentioned before, there was the outside chance that either of these teams could have made the playoffs. Of course, with the standings, did not work out that way. Division 6, Region 21. But, both of these teams, a lot of talent on the field. They've went through adversity, and in the case of the Blue Devils, early on, everybody in their neighborhood play quarterback. And, and you know, that's just with the injuries, you know, kind of caught up there a little bit.
Yeah, it really did. And just happy to have junior quarterback back, of course, for Independence and Narduzzi. We mentioned it's been able to contribute to that 3-game win streak to close out the year, looking for a 4th consecutive win. Independence, perennial playoff team, too, usually on that bubble, if not talking about being in that spot. But yeah, the injuries just took him out those first couple weeks.
And Narduzzi, he had a big year last year, and unfortunately, just because the injuries, was not able to have a full year, but able to take advantage here late.
And going to be a handoff up the middle. Maybe 3 to 4 yards on the carry there on the inside. And Kornick with the carry there.
Of course, he's running behind an offensive line that's one senior, 3 juniors, and a sophomore. So, 4 of the 5 linemen, the starting linemen, should be returning next year.
Yeah, both teams with some youth, obviously seniors too, but going to be a handoff, and actually going to be a here to the outside and brought down inside of 25. But pushing forward, solid run there by Xavier Wilson.
And again, a correction on my part. 2 seniors, 3 juniors on the offensive line.
How dare you?
I made the R look like an O. Like, wait a minute. Oh, wait, what? No, but.
Well, the RPO there for Xavier Wilson, able to get close to a first down. So 3rd and short. 2:30 to go in this first half. Independence driving again. Kornick in the backfield. Narduzzi going to roll to the right, keep it himself. He's got some room. Narduzzi cuts to the outside. He gets a block. Cuts through the 10 and spun down and brought down and around the 5-yard line. Dominic Narduzzi turned the corner and got a solid gain of about 18 and a big first down for the Blue Devils.
Urban, number 63, had an excellent kick-out block to set up that first down, and and that's how you have to operate there. You run this type of offense, and the Blue Devils, that play, take care of business.
And ball marked just inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal. Remember last time we got into one of these situations, goal to go, the defense for Trinity was able to really lock things down and force a field goal attempt. Independence trying to get a timeout on the sideline, and they will get granted that. It'll be their 2nd of this first half. 1:46 to go, and coaching staff going to talk through it. Yet 1 remaining for the Blue Devils here. A night tonight for Dominic Narduzzi. Again, 6 for 9, 119 yards and a touchdown through the air. 8 carries, 45 yards and a touchdown on the ground for the junior quarterback.
Yeah, that's big time. And, he's, again, been putting in the work. And he has been these last second half of the season, has been putting in that work. And an offense that is capable of, if they need to go up top, they can do that. They need to run the football, they could do that. And it makes this team very, very dangerous.
Top to bottom, you talk about the skill players, the guys that got some height too, the receiving class they have in there. Again, we talk about the first 6 games of the year, just the injuries unfortunately led to some just unfortunate commonalities of the schedule.
But you know what, though? Even facing through all that adversity is very easy, when you have that kind of start to flat out fold.
Oh yeah,
very easy to do that,
like a launcher.
And they have not done that, at all. And they're finishing this thing here strong. They have an opportunity to get back in the end zone.
And it is 1st and goal at the 4. Play calling in from up top. Narduzzi going to look to pass. Quick throw over the middle and a touchdown. Solid throw and catch. Oh, he got a sack now. Joliffe catches the touchdown pass right up the middle. Big 82 for the score. 2nd touchdown pass of the night. You see the replay here. Quick throw, great route, and an easy 6 points.
And that was the difference between that play and the last red zone play that did not lead to a touchdown. Quick decision making, great angle, and quarterback receiver in sync, able to make the play.
And Kornick line up the extra point. High snap behind him, still pushes it through, and that one is going to be no good. It's going to go wide to the left. A high snap that was behind the head of the holder. He managed to get the ball down still, but just the momentum there was taken out from the kick, and had to adjust it on the high snap, so the score is going to stay 22-0 now. The Blue Devils on top of the Trojans.
Crossbar is undefeated. You know, that's just what it is. Crossbar is undefeated. But, you know, you get a high snap, the timing, you know, just didn't work out, and that's pretty much what happened. Great drive for the Blue Devils.
Beside that. Clock too, able to get this down to a 3-score game. And of course, for the Trojans, just trying to find an answer on offense. It's been tough. Aiden Duncan just 1 of 5 through the air. He's got the interception. He's only got 19 yards of rushing in the first half, too. And credit where credit's due to Independence's defense. They've been set up in some tough spots with some penalties, but they've been able to make the stops when they matter most. And Trinity's had no answer for that.
Yeah, and even, you know, there was even a short field opportunity off of a fumble off the punt return.
Ball's on the 25-yard line. Talk about a couple plays. We could be talking about a different game here, but great job by the Blue Devils to, again, just focus in and force a penalty on Trinity in that situation. And now, of course, on the offense doing their part, too. Kickoff going to be taken out. Here is Mario Muniz. He's going to cut back to the left side, just trying to push through and taken down by a slew of tacklers at about the 25-yard line.
Well, here we go. We're going to see here, minute 35. You know, can Trinity get something going before halftime?
A couple of timeouts to play with here, too, when it comes to this last drive, possibly of this first half.
Yeah, maybe an opportunity to flip the scoreboard, you know, before half. But
and Independence is going to get the ball to start the third quarter, too. So if you're Trinity, you want to try and get points on the board.
Has to happen. Absolutely has to happen.
Yeah, close that gap, AA, right, and try to make this a 2-score game going into halftime.
But the front seven of this Blue Devils team is making everything very, very difficult for this offense.
He really is. Duncan again going to line up in the shotgun. Waving back into the play, Mario Muniz, who was on the sideline. Now he's going to go to the right hip.
And they have 10 guys.
Yeah, behind Aiden Duncan. And it's going to be an option play. It's to Muniz, who cuts to the left side. Still on his feet, pushing forward. And not bad. I'm sure he's happy he showed up for the play. He got about 6.
Thank goodness he showed up for the play. Because I have a pretty good hunch that play would have not worked if it was only 10 guys in the field.
Yeah, the option would have been a little lacking there if there wasn't a guy behind for Aiden Duncan to option 2, as it's going to be second and about medium here. Duncan faking the option and goes back. And he's going to get brought down. Solid play right there by Joliffe. Spun him in. And again, that should be classified as a sack. It was a loss of about 3 yards.
Yeah, and when you're facing an option offense, it's not about, oh, did I make the tackle? It's not about that. It's about being at the right place at the right time. You know, so, you know, if it is your responsibility to take out the quarterback, that's your job. You know, if it's your responsibility to then be, you know, take out the tailback, that's your job. If you play hero ball, you will get burned. But so far, the Blue Devils have not done that defensively.
And not buying too much on those fakes. Again, it was a no-look pass from Duncan there, a little bit of a fake, but spun back, and he actually went backwards. Talk about going north and south or east or west there. That situation, probably just want to try and get forward to get some positive gain, but trying to make more of a play. You mentioned hero ball there, and that situation where just doing too much possibly in that moment, and it resulted now in a loss of a few yards.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Independence just called the last time out?
I believe trying to stop that clock to maybe get the ball back one more time before the half, too.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe hoping for an incompletion if there's a pass, or.
Yeah, stack it up. Now you have 60 seconds, you know, left in this half.
They've shown the ability to make those big plays. There was a 59-yard touchdown in this first half, too. So nothing off the table for the Blue Devils if they manage to get the ball back. Of course, Trinity hoping they can hold on and try and make a big play in their own right.
Curious to see here, too, if we're talking clock management, if this will be a run.
Monte McKenzie going to take that ball, and it is going to be a run. Spunning through, and he's going to get brought down. Again, good job there by Xavier Wilson to tie him up, and then cleaning up the play was Josh Luciano. The other junior was able to get back in the backfield and get the stop.
Yeah, great play defensively, but, you know, because Independence is out of timeouts and a run play was called, there's going to be a lot of time rolling off.
Yeah, this is going to be after the punt, not much time left. But, of course, when you have someone back there, like Rocco Wrestler, you never know. Anything can happen.
I would imagine, we don't have a play clock in display. The
They
officials
may
usually
have to punt this away, Double A. I think they may.
No, but
yeah.
what I'm saying is they might call a timeout before, and I think that's what they just did.
Exactly right. You have to run that clock as low as you possibly can, right? And then obviously punt it away on the other side. 15 seconds, and again, you mentioned it, the guy, the big playability of Rucko Wrestler back there. You almost try to maybe divert the punt and have it bounce early to try and kind of take the punt return out of it, or do you just fly it right to him and hope that your special teams can make the play?
That's probably what you want to do. I don't know if you want to. I don't know if you want to do a directional punt. I don't know if you want to mess around with this. I think you just want to, get the punt off, hope for the best. You don't want a situation where you're going to give up additional points on short field. So I think just get a clean punt and look, rely on your defense. There's limited time to make the stop.
I'm just going to have 15 seconds for the punts. Depending on if there's a return or not, we may see time maybe for another play or two on the other side.
Yeah. What you don't want if you're Trinity is just there's no 15-second run around the field play.
No.
It just doesn't exist. So.
Well, we could see some laterals. You never know. It is high school football.
Maybe.
We are in the great state of Ohio. You never know. We've seen some crazy things. As Duncan almost had that punt blocked. It's going to be kicked off and going to take a bounce. And that's going to go even further back, and it's going to die at about the 21-yard line. And there's going to be just under 3 seconds.
What's
so
amazing?
We should see a play, Double A. Yeah?
You know what's amazing? I don't even think Trinity had to pick up the football.
They could have just let it roll.
They could have just let it roll. It was another 3 seconds. Let it go into halftime.
Yeah.
But what? You only have time for one play?
Yep.
Before you go into half.
Now we did again see a near 60-yard touchdown pass, a streak up the middle of the field. I imagine Trinity's going to play prevent here, trying to let anything go behind them.
Or,
like you said, you never know.
Or you can take a knee, go to halftime.
It'll always be a pretty
you can do that.
Safe idea, depending on.
I mean, Ryan Day today took a knee with like 40 seconds to go, and with 3 timeouts.
I'll safer bet here. He's taking, and we're
I'm not throwing shade at Ohio State, I promise.
Oh yeah, no way, right?
Not at all.
Halftime, your score 22-0. Independence, the road Blue Devils on top of the home Trinity Trojans here on CVC TV. Time for us to take a break here at halftime. We'll have first half stats, second play action, and we'll preview your playoffs. The Chagrin Valley Conference coming up. Stay with us here on CVC TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Independence High School Marching Band. Tonight, the band will be presenting its senior show. The color guard routines were written by seniors Aaliyah Schuler, Neil Belushi, Isabella Rose, Emma Johnson, and Ashley Hart. The music was selected by the senior class, and the drill was written by senior field commander Matthew Aber. The opening song tonight will be Magical Mystery Tour and Lady Madonna. song was featured in the 1977 album Out of the Blue by the Electric Light Orchestra. Here is Mr. Blue Sky. Join the IHS Color Guard featuring the Senior Color Guard as we get ready to say bye 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 to our senior class.
I mean, he wasn't gas muscles. Like, no kidding. Always.
And now, help us close out our show tonight by reminding our senior class that they are incredible. Here's a selection from the Disney Pixar movie, The Incredibles. The color guard is under the direction of Ms. Alex Sutter. The assistant band director is Mrs. Kimberly Poussard, and the band is under the overall direction of Mr. Michael Green. Thank you for your attention. Have a great evening.
Good it ain't bad.
There were a couple places out here where you're like, I'm like, do you think he got hit in the eye? Like, what's going on? Demon's like, it's not even running. What's he doing?
Nah, it's good. It looks good. I mean, it looks good all year.
Now,
Good way to end the season.
now, when does girls basketball start?
I think the first practice is Friday.
This Friday?
Friday coming up.
So when is the first game? Mid-November?
Yeah, something like that. I forgot.
Okay.
We had a tentative schedule at one point, but I don't think
Yeah, either did that's what we did.
that's why I didn't look at it. I know I saw the boys practicing Wednesday when we had the boosters.
I know,
saw
I missed the booster meeting.
all I know for sure is there's no
Hot ball. Yeah, that was a bummer.
they got rid of that, and they talked about like some of the events, the state champions, the golfer, the girls, and it was low key. There was nothing big. I think we were out of there like 28 or something.
Everyone's excited to start basketball.
Yeah, I just got to get it cleared with the blue on it.
Halftime here at Ralph B. Adams Stadium in Cuyahoga Heights. The score 22-0. Independence on top of the Trinity Trojans here on ChagrinValleyConference.com. Yours truly, Kyle Cornell, alongside AA Anthony Alford on the call. And first half, really Independence flexing the muscles on offense, making some big plays. Defense stepping up in some big spots too. Trinity had a couple chances deep in Independence territory, but some penalties and some miscues on the offensive side, leading to this 3-score lead for the Blue Devils in that first half double.
Absolutely, and the Blue Devils is taking full advantage. First off, on the defensive side, you know, their front seven is outstanding. Just with the physicality up front, their ability to read the guards and go right in and make the big plays. So that's been pretty special. And then offensively, whatever they wanted to do, if they wanted to throw deep, they've been able to do that. Find, wrestler, whoever in the scene. If they want to run the football, they've been able to do that as well. So Independence able to take advantage of scoring opportunities and having long drives down the field. And Kyle, Trinity just, even when they have the chance to get good field position, they just are unable to, take advantage.
To the Cowboy, I think the student section for Independence may be below us.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I found it interesting. The Cuyahoga Heights is hosting this game, but that's where we're at now.
Yes.
And I've always found it interesting the road team
Has to come through the stands.
Yeah, just the way the stands is on our side. That's why you don't see on your screen. The stands is only on one side, and
right.
all of us are on one side. So that's why you're seeing a football game at Interstate 77. But, I mean, but I find it interesting. Yeah, they had to come through the stands. The officials, the coaches, they got to come through the stands.
Well, kind of recapping that first half 2AA before we get started for second half action. Trinity only with 33 total yards of offense in that first half.
How many yards?
33.
Yeah.
On the other side, Independence able to put up 185 total yards in a big first half for Dominic Narduzzi. Again, 7 of 10 passing for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also ran 8 times for 45 yards in the score. He's been able to have his way with that Trojan defense.
And he's been getting great blocking, too,
yeah.
To set up those big runs. Great kick-out blocks and, identifying where they want to go. And the Blue Devils have had that level of success offensively.
You were missing we didn't bring up Rocco Ressler, too, in the first half. He had 4 catches, 94 yards, and that big touchdown. He also had an interception on the defensive side of the ball. And he returns kicks and punts and everything else.
Does it all.
Team dinner, yeah, he does everything pretty much.
And it's only, that's a good point. And only a junior, as well. And see what happens coming right back. You want senior leaders, for Blue Devils team that I think obviously they're loaded with talent, and if healthy, could easily make a playoff run this time next year. But this is, again, if you're the Blue Devils, it's how you send off your seniors, with an incredible performance in the first half, see if they can carry that over into half number 2.
7 seniors on the Independence Blue Devil roster. For the Trojans, again, just Aiden Duncan not really able to get anything going in that first half. Had some runs early on that looked promising. Theo Jackson kind of being neutralized too by the Independence defense. And it is actually senior night for the Trojans, trying to send some of these guys out on the right way. Theo Jackson being one of them. But really, again, there's not much going on for the Trojan offense.
And the problem has been, maybe for the exception of the first drive, they're forcing Independence. They're forcing Aiden Duncan to rush decisions. And it's not just, he's not able to go through his progression. It's just one read, and either he throws off of one read and, led to an interception, or, he's tucking in the football and taking off, and by the time he makes that decision, Independence has a guy to his right, to his left, to his corner, to his other corner, and on top. There's nowhere for him. And it's immediate. You don't have time. He doesn't have time to make decisions. So I'm curious in the second half if Trinity looks to get quick balls out of the flat, try to, maybe a few rollouts, just to get something quick, something to ensure that the ball is going to move, offensively and get the pass game going with high percentage completions.
I mentioned just 5 seniors for the Trinity Trojans. So a lot of underclassmen are going to be coming back next season. Of course, Theo Jackson, one of those, not going to be returning as a senior in his own right. But a lot of this team making their way back next year too. Trinity, as you mentioned, able to kind of build after that tough 5-game losing streak to kind of begin the year. They've won 2 out of the last 3. Some confidence pouring with those guys. 3-6 in the season for both teams. And yeah, again, just tough starts, but they've been able to kind of right the ship as we head down the stretch in CVC play. And again, this talking about carrying momentum into next season, carrying momentum for a lot of these guys into the winter sports season. There's a lot of the student athletes down there play multiple sports too. So
yeah, we'll see a few of these guys when we cover basketball.
On the hardwood.
Yeah, we'll
on the hardwood soon.
Yeah, we'll see. And if we don't see them on basketball, they'll be in wrestling.
Yeah.
As well, which to me is the ultimate tough sport.
And I know that I'm going to talk to Steve about maybe some baseball this year.
Maybe.
We see some baseball games getting covered. I'm sure Pete's in the truck going, what are you talking about?
I wouldn't mind. I mean, I just hope it doesn't rain.
Oh, yeah, well, that's half the season as the ball gets picked up. We're underway in the second half of action. Of course, Independence going to take over at about the 35-yard line.
I remember we tried to do baseball games, back in the schooling days, and
those are fun.
It was.
Had a good time.
Well, the 2 games we got to cover.
Yeah.
Out of the 10 that was scheduled.
You did rain a lot. That is exactly right, yeah. But those 2 games, fantastic.
Oh, they were great. They were great.
1st and 10 for the Blue Devils on their own 35 to kick off the second half of play and our season finale, at least a regular season finale of SugarlandValleyConference.com and your coverage of Ohio high school football in the CVC. Playoffs next week. We'll dive into the matchups, potential matchups here in a few minutes as we continue through our second half of play.
And again, all the playoff matchups, all of the games will be played on Fridays this year. No Saturday games.
Narduzzi going to throw. He's got a receiver. It's short, and it's going to be intercepted. First play of the first half on defense.
Well, we'll see if it's going to stay at Kyle, because there's a flag in the backfield that was thrown before the pass.
Yeah, Lance Hudson got the interception, but let's hold the phone for a second. And it's a legal motion on the offense. My guess is that's going to be declined, and it was.
Yep. There you go. Take a look. You got the penalty. Got hit as he was thrown and set right in there. And
actually,
Lance Hudson able to get the interception.
Yeah, back foot, not really setting into the throw, driving the ball. One of the few times tonight we haven't seen a solid ball there from Narduzzi, his first turnover, and that's going to now go back to the Trojans. The defense with a solid stop to begin the first half on the first play on the defensive end, and Lance Hudson give the ball back to the offense.
I say here, if Trinity's able to drive down the field and get the score here, kind of close the gap here a little bit, there's a chance.
It's our crazy cousin called momentum, as it's going to pitch out to the right side and spun down and down by the Independence defense. Solid tackle. Now out there, that was Carson Howard, I believe, that got in and made a stop. Senior.
The tackling has been incredible. Incredible to see. Well coached. Just seeing setting your feet, getting a solid form tackle, staying with it too. Because, again, you're taught to offensively to keep going until through the whistle, and, the defenders are finishing tackles.
So Duncan with McKenzie on his left hip. He's going to roll to his left, and it's going to be a QB keeper for Duncan. He cuts to the outside, and he gets spun down. Big tackle right there by Independence. That could have got really bad really quick, but an amazing play on the left side there for 53. That's Beck Christ, another one of those seniors who stopped Aiden Duncan, because when he turns that corner, we've seen it firsthand. He can make a big play.
Yeah, and that's the next step for the Trinity offense, is getting the second level. That has not happened to this point, but if they're able to somehow, some way get past the front seven, then you have something to do here. But the third down here coming up.
We're in about 7, and it's going to be an offside, I believe, at Joliffe. So 5 more yards. Looked like there was going to be some motion or change of a formation, and drew Independence offsides.
One of these days I want to get a game where the official says everyone but the center. If it was a false start,
I know we're working on that elusive referee mic, which you brought into high school football. It's going to be now 3rd and short after the 5-yard penalty. Under center is Duncan. He's going to hand it up to Muniz up the middle. He's going to march forward and get a first down.
Good running, leaning forward, exploding and running hard, getting the first down, and right up the gut. Rare success here to this point on the offensive side, running up the gut against his front 7.
Mario Muniz with a 6-yard gain and moves the chains as Trinity's been marching now into the Blue Devils side of the field. Down 22-0 here in this third quarter. Final game of the season for both these teams. Again, no playoffs, so this is it when it comes to football. Duncan actually going to hand the ball left side. It's Jackson. Theo Jackson turns the corner, gets brought down. Big tackle there by Gurnick. If he didn't make that play, oh boy, that could have been big. Instead, it'll just be a first down, gain of 10.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Jackson's able to get up here after the run.
He got kind of tackled a bit low, which is what you're trained to do, not go high, try and take the legs out, especially quicker guys like Theo Jackson. Caught up in his own feet there and hit the ground after the gain of 10, and we talked about it. That was a great tackle there by Kornick, because if he didn't get to Theo Jackson, that would have been 6.
Absolutely, but, hopefully he'll be okay, because if you're looking, it's just, you wondering how the footing's going to be, and just believe an ankle situation.
Yeah, the way he came down too at that double A. Did not look very good there. And a little lower leg for sure. We'll see what Jackson rolling over on his stomach. He's going to try and stand up, and I think he is going to get on the field here. So Theo Jackson, we've seen him earlier in the season too brave through some injuries and some cramping too earlier on in the year as well in that game against Hawken, and he's going to.
And, you know, he's probably thinking too right now. It's like that's one of the best runs of the night. You know, he wants to keep going. He wants to keep going and operating.
Yeah.
And, you know,
got to come off the field for at least a play, so that means process of elimination, DeMonte McKenzie will head back into the field, most likely going to the backfield with Aiden Duncan, and he will. And another first down, so a couple first downs on this drive after the interception, and the Trojans starting to make a case here to get back into this ball game. Duncan going to hand off. And actually keep it himself, and he's going to get drove back. Kornick back there, as well as 53, Beck Christ again, able to make that stop for about a loss of 1.
Took too long to develop. Took way too long to develop, and, you know, again, you got 4 linebackers back there on that defensive package. And if you're not able to get something quick, then the defenders are going to identify, and that's exactly what happened.
I'm hearing the speaker again. That means Independence's student section is getting into it.
The speakers made it to the ball game.
It took till the third quarter, but we got it, and we're hearing the music getting played. So, sweet sounds of Rihanna on the sideline.
Remember, they had like a halftime speech on the last game we had.
It was impressive. We talked about one of the better student sections. Mina's going to get a double handoff, and a great job by the Independence defense to snuff that out. And a couple different players in on there, including Luciano, was able to read that, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and long. So after a couple solid first downs, Trinity find themselves in a tough spot on 3rd down.
Yeah, of course, after the Theo Jackson injury, of course, the complexion of the offense changed a little bit here, and now 3rd and 11 upcoming.
And not seeing Jackson on the sideline. I don't know if he's still getting looked at, of course, by the training staff.
Yeah, he's getting taped up right now.
Yeah, definitely with that ankle. Want to make sure he's good to go and don't want to press things too much, being the last game of the year. But McKenzie going to go in motion. He's going to fake that snap and hold. And now Duncan goes up, almost threw a flying knee. It's not CM Punk, it's Aiden Duncan. He got down to the 30.
Well, you can't throw a flying knee when you got a guy in front and behind you on the side, and you're not going forward.
Yeah, just every time they get into some sort of space, there's 2 or 3 different Blue Devils kind of waiting for the Trojans, and ability to make one man miss, yeah, we got that, but 3 or 4 are kind of tough.
Also, you don't want to do an unprovoked flying knee either.
No,
that's
yeah.
Not, you know.
That's on the list of bugaboos for most referees in high school football in any state, including the great state of Ohio.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, so 4th down and long, and that's going to be a timeout from the Trojans. It'll be their first of the second half. They have 2 more remaining, so we'll take a break there from play on the field. Let's talk some playoffs. Well, we have some chance to get into it too. So overall, the CVC has 12 teams that'll be making an appearance. Just kind of going through the different team names. You've heard these before too, the Kirtlands and the Perrys of the world. A couple of those teams. Geneva, of course, we saw earlier this season. Big matchup with Madison. They showed up big in that game on the road to get the win. Cuyahoga Heights, of course, we're at their stadium tonight. They're going to be in, as well as Cardinal, Hawken, Madison, Edgewood, Berkshire, Conneaut, Crestwood, and Lutheran West, all making the trek into the postseason. Only team we haven't seen so far this year is Lutheran West.
Yeah.
Here on CVC TV. But the matchup's not technically confirmed, but we've seen kind of what this is looking like. Of course, for the 3 teams that we see near the top, those being the Kirtlands, the Perrys, and of course Geneva too. Interesting matchups.
Yeah, they are, and we'll get to some of these in just a moment. Division III, Region 9, Hawken at Geneva.
All CVC.
And then that's a 15 versus 2, and then an 11 versus 6, Madison versus Gilmore. Talk a little bit about those matchups after the 4th down.
Exciting as Duncan's going to look to pass, going to step up. He throws, and it is caught. What a play.
Good catch.
On the outside, that was number 2, Lance Hudson. Hey, interception, and I can catch the ball too on the offensive end.
And that was an excellent reception there. Good adjustment.
Well, got 12 yards, AA. Needed 11, got 12, and got the first down.
Yeah, excellent job there by the offense, able to strike, and good play call and getting the first down.
Only 2nd completion of the night for Again, Aiden Duncan, who was able to make the play. So, again, 1st and 10 on the 18. 3 first downs on this drive, the first of this third quarter for the Trojans. Trying to get on the scoreboard here and make this a game. Duncan gonna hand off on the left side, some room to run. I believe that was, let's say, Theo Jackson, and there's a flag coming down. Can't do that. Theo Jackson back in the game and gets a good game, but now there's going to be an issue.
And their quarterback right now dunking it on his teammates like, look, we got momentum. And again, that cannot happen.
Theo Jackson, the senior, of course, frustrated. He's been held in check until this drive here. Had the big run earlier in the drive for a first down, and obviously a gain of about 7 there, but that's going to get wiped away.
And that's been the frustrating thing this entire time for Trinity. You've done everything right offensively. You've done everything right. Created play call, had a counter. That was there. You progressed down the field, and you're going to have a 15-yard penalty.
So ball going to move all the way back double way to the 27. 15-yard penalty.
You know, so.
And it should be, I believe, second down because it is a dead ball penalty. So here we go. Yeah, second and long. Again, every time. Trying to get some positive momentum. It seems they go backwards. Pitch to the outside. Jackson again. He's brought down. Big tackle. Right there, that was number 10 for the Blue Devils there. Charlie Meyer, who made the play, the junior.
Meyer able to identify the play, and not just identify it, but then immediately get right to it, wrap up, and finish the tackle. And Independence with an opportunity here. Now, they got 2 plays to do it here, but the opportunity after they were tested in the red zone to get out of this without giving up a single point.
Be impressive considering where the ball was at the 18-yard line just a few moments ago. Instead, now it's back at the 29, and it's 3rd and 20. Duncan looking to throw. He's going to cut the middle. He's still going to go. Duncan breaks to the left side. He's got some room to run, and he'll step out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. So a very short gain for Aiden Duncan. It's going to set up a 4th and long.
And remember, you mentioned before, the ball was at the 12 before the penalty.
Yeah. Just again, it happens. It has happened throughout the entirety of this game. You see Trinity get some positive momentum on the offensive end, and then a penalty or some sort of miscue results in that ball moving back. They just can't get ahead of the sticks for an entire drive. And again, no reason not to. You're going to go for this on 4th and 16.
Now, this is where your secondary, you know, it hasn't been a lot of pass attempts, but your secondary has to communicate with each other here.
Keep the ball in front as Duncan's going to roll to the right. Great rush. He's going to throw. There's a receiver. It is caught. Going to break through, and he is going to get tackled by about 5 different Blue Devils. That's going to be short. Aiden Duncan was able to make the play, but just not enough.
And that's great communication there, Kyle. And it's just, you know, just guys are ready to go. And sometimes it's tough, like when you're in the secondary and you don't get a lot of passing plays coming at you. Sometimes it's tough for you to be ready to go. But, you know, communication happened there, and the Blue Devils get the turnover on downs.
So here we go. Yeah, the Blue Devils going to take the ball back over, and going to be spotted at about the 15-yard line. So it was close, but just not enough for Trinity. But again, some tough starting field position for Dominic Narduzzi and company. Of course, 1 play on the offensive end in this third quarter, and it was the interception. That put Trinity in position to try and score, but again, could not find a way. Going to pitch to the outside, trying to get through, and just nothing really much going on there. Wilson going to get spun down and brought. Actually, no, that's Korenek who had to carry. And yeah, about roughly 5 yards.
Yeah, good run there. We was just mentioning a little bit ago, Division III, Region 9, a couple of the teams that will be in the playoffs. 3 for the CVC out of there. You saw Geneva last week. We got an opportunity to see Hawken against Trinity, and, you know, Luke Mangini, first off, just a real deal, offensively and defensively.
Hey, he runs, he catches, he gets sacks in the defensive end. He's all over the place. As Narduzzi going to keep it, and he's going to get brought down almost immediately for maybe a loss of about 1.
But what did you see from Geneva that could make them possibly make a deep run?
The overall, obviously, most of these teams are well coached in the CVC. I'd rival to say pretty much all of them are, but it's the overall ability that Geneva showed from the offense, the defense, and the special teams. It was a total team effort in that game against Madison we had just last week for you guys here on CVC TV, and it was impressive. 2 7-1 teams. Thought maybe, hey, possible game of the year candidate with that coming through, and it was a home game for Madison, of course, homecoming too, and Geneva showed up. They were up 35-7 in that second half before finishing that 42-21 win. I mean, it was phenomenal to see how good they were at pretty much doing everything on both sides. As Narduzzi pitches to the outside and gets close to the first down, but he's going to be short. That was out to Cy Joliffe, who just could not spin for that first down, so it's going to be 4th and short.
Yeah, you had 2 defenders right there, you know, for Trinity, and you know, the issue.
Can't help but hear him. The bullhorn making a cameo again on the sideline.
I'm like, wait a minute, where did that come from?
we talked about this before. Honestly, we've covered a bunch of teams in the CVC and have kept a few outside of it as well this season. Probably the most lively student section, win or loss, you're going to see Independence. On the road, at home, doesn't matter. And it's going to be a fake, it looks like, or maybe they're just holding off for the punt here. And it's going to be a run, and turning the corner out at the 30, and it should be enough for the first down. Great job by Kornick. It's a benefit of having your running back as the guy punting the ball away. We talk about Aiden Duncan on the one side for the Blue Devil, or for the Trojans rather, but for the Blue Devils, Kornick, the same kind of thing. Hey, if I only need a couple of yards, yeah, I can turn the corner and get
It's
it.
always tricky because you always think, like, from us watching, you're just like, oh, it's only 2 yards. But really, if you line up that deep back, you really have to.
Almost like 20.
Yeah.
And you're going opposite field, too. He started on the left hash, the opposite hash of your TV screens there, your streaming screens there, too, and had to run all the way across the field to get those 3
And you
yards.
could tell he was thinking about it, too. So look at that matchup, like, can I get 10?
Do I want to punt this away? Do I want to just keep it?
I got a target at the, at the sideline, and that's exactly what happened.
It was the 5 coaches in the box telling him, yeah, run it. Go ahead. As Narduzzi going to look, throw. He's got a receiver. It's going to be overshot and incomplete. Joliffe was running that deep post, and back there. And Aiden Duncan was hanging out in the defensive backfield. That ball's a little more underthrown. We're talking about another interception, but Narduzzi sails it high and going to result second down.
And that was dangerous. That was dangerous. I mean, I know Trinity can't get anything going offensively, but defensively, that was a pick. That was a lot of room to get a big-time return and, flip the scoreboard.
Trinity's been able to show up on the defensive side of the ball after this point. 2:09 to go in the third quarter. Narduzzi again in the shotgun. He's going to take a snap throw. It's going to be a screen play out. And no room to run on the screen pass to the outside. That's what Sam Crooks, who tried to make the play, the 6'4" junior receiver, and he got brought down for maybe the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1 if we're lucky there with that.
Yeah, defenders are right there and not able to get things going on the attempted screen.
Crooks is one of those talented sophomores we talked about, 6'4" junior receiver, one of those deep threats we can see Narduzzi go to in some of those spots as well. At that time, we had a screen call, just had no space to run. Going to the right, Narduzzi going to throw. It's high and it's incomplete. Scary moment there. That pass was intended for number 14. That was Jose Caban, again, the freshman who has a catch in that first half for a first down. Instead, now it's going to bring up 4th and about 10.
Yeah, not often we said this offensively about the Blue Devils tonight, but things got a little sloppy there. Just drive and just miscommunication, and that's. I will say this: the effort for the Trojans defensively has greatly improved in the second half. You see those guys flying to the football, and we got Duncan and lining up there to
returning the punt. Yeah, but that quarterback back there again. Always a possibility of fake Kornick, though, as the punter. As he's going to roll to his right. This time he's going to punt it away. That one's going to be a sky-high punt. He's going to drop it around the 45 and take a positive bounce. For Independence, that ball going to get down to around the 40-yard line. That's where And Trinity will take over about a 30 or so yard punt for the Blue Devils. And the Trojans, again, the defense holding strong with a minute and 11 seconds to go in his third quarter.
Yeah, the return team, you know, they was almost playing with fire. You know, not you gotta get. I know it's tough because sometimes you don't know where the football is. You gotta get away. You gotta get away because you don't. You know, that becomes a problem.
So the Trojans going to get back on the offensive side of the ball. The defense has done their job in this third quarter. Can the offense contribute and try and get on the scoreboard here? And Duncan in the shotgun. He's got 3 wide to his right, 2 wide to the left. Looking to pass. Throwing, it's McKenzie. Caught. Makes a man miss. McKenzie turns upfield. He gets the first down and pass midfield. 13 to 14 yards and a first down.
That young man has some speed on him. But 5'8", 150 pounds. And, you know, again, able to open it up. We have not seen that many pass attempts.
Only 8 pass attempts from this Trinity offense. 4 of 8 for 40 yards. Is Aiden Duncan, of course. He's got 12 carries, but only 23 yards to show for it there. The rushing attack just hasn't been prevalent tonight, but maybe this is the answer. Spreading it out wide and trying to throw the ball a little bit on some quick throws. And that ball tipped in. Did he get it? They're going to say it was incomplete. That was close. Kornick almost got that ball.
I'll be honest, I did not think it hit the ground, but through the naked eye. Let's look at our replay.
Oh, he got that.
I'm not.
Kornick did get that, I believe. That ball was picked. I mean, that was
so
super close. Obviously,
man.
we couldn't slow that down for you, but it looked pretty close, and I think he got his hands underneath there. Unfortunately, we are in high school. Look at the replay one more time. I'm going to slow this down just a little bit to see, and yeah, he definitely picked that up. He got the hand underneath.
Wow.
That was an interception, but Trinity going to get away with one now and keep possession. Duncan rolling to the right. Looking, throwing. That one is caught. Cutting back upfield. Going to get brought down at the 35 for a near first down.
So again, after not getting the interception called for them, and we got a late flag, Kyle. Got a late flag.
Oh boy.
That flag came in well after the play ended.
Xavion Biggs again taking a squat down. That flag coming out on the far side of the field.
Who is that? He's on our sideline.
Yeah, sideline warning possibly, or
I don't know. I don't know what.
They're not with us. Those people are not with us.
I don't know what
kind of
happened.
just hanging out down on the side of the field.
But they're not with us, though. Tell them they're not with us. It's not our responsibility to know who everybody
The
is.
referee's talking that over.
That's not. They're not with us.
Coach Rick Adams on the
That's
sideline.
facilities people. So everybody
Turns out, yeah, it looks like maybe Mary Poppins was on the sideline down there.
I have
Wasn't
no
sure
idea.
what's going on with that. Yeah, it was a throw and catch for near a first down. We'll see what the actual call is.
Who is that?
Roughing the passer going to be called. And unsportsmanlike conduct being called too. That could, move that ball 15 more yards downfield if it is going to stand here. Now we're playing catch with the flag, but we're going to see what where the ball's going to get spotted there with that.
That was
Strange
I'm gonna be
sequence
honest,
of
Kyle, I'm
events.
not sure what happened there. I'm gonna be honest.
We know exactly what's going on.
I don't know.
I guess they have a choice at this point. I think both.
Well, both equal
Or
the same.
15, yeah,
They
so it
both
just
equal the
kinda
same.
depends, yeah,
So,
what-
they're
No,
both going to be 15.
Exactly right. Yeah, I think roughing the passer would just move it from the spot. Maybe if you do the.
Or it might be compounded.
Oh my goodness, that is a huge penalty. That multiple there, all the way down to the 10-yard line is where that ball is going to get placed. Oh my goodness.
So,
Wow.
so the first penalty was 15,
Yep.
and then the second one was half the distance.
Right, because they were already at the, I want to say on the 20-yard line, yeah. So there we go. Ball spotted at the 10, 31 seconds to go. Clock is running in the third quarter. This is the best chance the Trojans have had to try and get on the scoreboard here.
And this completely changes the game if they could get in the end zone.
It does. Duncan, McKenzie, and Muniz. And now looks like McKenzie is going to take the snap. He's going to roll pitch out to Duncan, and he's going to get spun and brought down. Solid stand there by Independence on that first carry. Big tackle, and again, some words being exchanged.
There's a player also down at Trinity on the Independence sideline. They're going to have to figure that out as this quarter ends.
That's number 13 out on the side there for Trinity, that being Darion Smith.
Yeah.
Tight end who has made some plays and a couple big catches on this drive. And with that, you're right, AA, we had the third quarter. They scored 22-0. Independence keeping that 3-score lead heading into the fourth. But Trinity again threatening to get into that end zone for the first time. We'll see what happens as we start the fourth quarter in a few moments. Want to remind you folks of our presenting sponsor for CVC TV, the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. That's Doctors Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Their specialties include dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. Of course, thank you for your support of the Chagrin Valley Conference and CVC TV.
So again, whatever just happened there, you had the rough of the passer, and then I guess it was, the unsportsmanlike, something happened on the sidelines.
Compounding penalties, you mentioned, AA, that just went on top of each other there and moved the ball from what should have been, around the 30-yard line or so, all the way down to the 10. And the results in some plays is again seeing Smith able to get up on the sideline and now is walking back across the field back to his respective sideline. And the Trinity faithful cheering him on as he gets back and is walking under his own power. Good to see Darion Smith making his way back. He is actually a freshman.
Yeah.
He's one of the key playmakers on this team, both offensively, defensively. Going to see his name for the next number of years.
Absolutely. But an opportunity here for the Trojans, take full advantage and possibly get into the end zone. Obviously, they got 3 more plays at this point to do it.
Yeah, so it's going to be 2nd and 13 on the 13. I think it would just be called goal at this point. We'll see if Aiden Duncan has more of that magic. And McKenzie both threatening to take the snap. Going to be a handoff. Theo Jackson breaks the right side. Jackson going to get torn down inside the 10 at about the 7. Almost a horse collar penalty there, but I didn't see any yellow flags in the field. Do you, AA?
No, it was his hand placement was low enough where that was the right call, not the correct non-call.
Gotcha. So now 3rd and about, goal from the 6. A couple plays to try and move this ball 6 yards to try and get into the end zone for the first time tonight. We've seen Aiden Duncan make some big plays in fourth quarters this year, of course, earlier on in against Hawken, a couple big runs and throws, and see if he has more in him here. High snap, Duncan getting a hand. It's McKenzie who breaks the outside and missing a tackle, and going to get inside the 5, down to maybe the 4. And a late flag.
Take back out. Take back out right now.
Yeah, back crest in the middle there with some stuff going on, and that could be another personal foul. It could be automatic first down, AA. We'll see.
New set of downs if they determine that. I thought Trinity at some point would throw it up top, depending on what the linebacker would do.
Well, they're going to have a few more chances to do that now, AA, after that personal foul.
Yeah, it is on him. Tackle him
So here we go. It's going to be first and goal, half the distance, so the ball is slated at the 2. Yeah, first and goal again, so here we go. Best chance we've seen so far tonight for the Trojans to be able to try and get into the end zone here. Is still some discussions with the officials on the far side of the field. Ball has been placed, though, so he should be ready to go here shortly. 11 minutes to go.
Right.
Yeah, it's still plenty of time, AA.
Yeah, it's plenty of time. And again, they're going to keep it as a 4th down, it looks like.
That should.
Get up there. Get up there.
It should technically be first, but I guess not, as Duncan's going to hand the ball. Ball's out, and it's recovered, and it looks like that should be Independence football, and it is. What a play And you see there, the ball just dropped, and great recovery by number 10, that being Charlie Meyer, the junior, who falls on it. And went from a spot at the 1 yard line, 2 yard line, chance to get in, to now Independence football. What a sequence of events there just went off.
So even that time, I thought it was going to be a new set of downs, and that did not happen. It was a 4th down, and get the fumble, and Trinity gets nothing.
It's been the story of the night. Some breaks, and then just not able to convert and make plays when it's mattered for the offense for the Trojans. So Independence will take back over, deep in their own territory, in their own 5. Narduzzi going to roll to the right, keep it himself. Going inside, pushing forward, now bounce to the outside and gets down to about the 9 and 4 yards.
Again, interesting turn of events. I still can't get over what happened at the end of the last drive there. And again, no matter what, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's 4th down or 1st down. Can't put the ball on the turf, and that's what happened, there. And
well, Trinity's had the ball inside the 25-yard line a couple times, but have not been able to convert any points on offense. Narduzzi again in the shotgun. Going to get some space to breathe here on the offensive end. It's going to be a handoff to the outside. Kornick gets brought down. Maybe a yard or 2 of that on the play, so it's going to bring up 3rd down. Defense has been able to step up in big moments in the second half so far, AA. The Trojans have on the defensive side of the ball. They do it again.
Yeah, I mean, they could. Tensions are running very high right now. And
these two schools not separated by much.
Mm-hmm.
Not too far away from each other. Obviously, division opponents and rivals both.
Trinity has to burn a timeout. They only have 10 guys.
Yep.
And
I think that's their second time out of the second half, so they've only have 1 more remaining. It's going to be more circumstantial when you talk about trying to score later in the quarter and making plays to get back in the game on offense, but they'll take that second time out. Gives us a chance to talk more about the playoffs coming up, obviously starting next week. And you mentioned a couple of those matchups, Hawken and Geneva being one that's on the docket. Madison, Gilmore, another big one, and a couple other big matchups to keep an eye on too.
Absolutely. Also Division 3, but Region 10, Lutheran West, the 11th seed. They're going to face Ontario, the 6th seed.
By Mansfield.
Yeah, 7-3 versus 9-1. So Lutheran West, if they can progress, they're actually in the Northwest Ohio division region. So got that there. Division 4, Region 13, Edgewood, the 10th seed against the 7th seed, Niles McKinley.
That should be a fun matchup too.
Both of those teams 6 and 4, and in a little bit, we're loaded in Division 5, Region 17, and Division 6, Region 21.
Yeah, maybe those divisions and regions sound a little familiar. We'll tell you why in a few minutes.
Yes,
here.
absolutely.
A couple powerhouse teams that could be making runs maybe into Columbus at some point. Or I should say Tom Benson Stadium over in Canton. As it's going to be a throw, and it is dropped, incomplete. And I'll tell you what, play over the middle, right in the chest. Steven Benarchik had the pass right there, but couldn't make the play, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Absolutely. Again, I think on both sides, the emotions they're getting to, there's a lot going on there in the field from an emotional standpoint. Just sell in, got to make the play. And a little dangerous territory here, having to punt the football. Not that much room to get the punt off.
Kornick are going to line up inside his own end zone, about a yard or 2 deep in. You've seen him fake one before. He's going to roll over to the right, try and buy some time. Kornick still looking. Now he's going to have to try and make a play. Going to break to that side, and did he get enough? I think he got it, and it looks like he probably did. It's like right at the line. Depending on the spot, we'll see.
They're moving it. I think they're moving it, yeah.
Wow, so 1st down, Kornick needed 4, and man, he got right on the dot, got 4 yards. That's a big gain. By Jack Kornick.
That is a dangerous play.
And I'll tell you, when he kind of just hangs out, he kind of jogs on either side of where the punt's going to go and says, hey, if I have a lane, I'm going to take it if I only need a couple yards there. And again, solid run by Kornick, moves the chains, and the offense stays on the field.
But we mentioned again, season finale for both of these teams. Go all out. This time, hey, go out there and perhaps make that play.
And Jack Kornick, of course, senior as well, so his last chance to get out there and make some of those plays. Narduzzi going to keep it himself. He's going to keep his balance, truck down the field, and get a solid gain.
That was amazing how he was able to stay on his feet there, Kyle.
7-yard run for Narduzzi. He's got 55 on the ground, 127 through the air tonight, showing his dual threat ability. We expected to see that from Aiden Duncan as well, but he just hasn't been able to get things moving on the offensive end the same way that Independence has.
Not the same level of pressure we've seen on both sides of the ball.
Narduzzi again in the shotgun, going to look to pass. Looking, throwing, he's got a man. Looking, and it's off the helmets, and there is the flag that comes in late. And a little bit of an injury on the sideline. That was Rocco Wrestler going to the deep ball, and he's going to just take a second to, I think he's going holding his left leg.
Yeah, you got to defensively. You got to play the football. I know it's tough when you're out there in the island, but
I turned that head. The ball went off the helmet of the Trinity defender there, and the ball going to get moved. And Wrestler going to get stretched out, possibly a cramp. We saw him holding his calf area, maybe the hamstring too. Helmet coming off, and of course, big game for Rocco Wrestler tonight. One of those talented juniors on the independent squad, 4 catches, 94 yards, got that touchdown reception, that big one, that 59-yarder in that first half. Also has an interception on the defensive side. Hey, he returns punts. We talked about it before, pretty much has every title under the sun for this independent squad.
absolutely. Now, as we get away of the injury, you're going to get water and get taken care of.
Yep.
Division 5, Region 17. Got 4 teams in here, including the all-CVC matchup. Perry, undefeated, 10-0. They're going to be hosting Crestwood, 5-5, 16th seed.
Perry, of course, making history this year when they defeated Kirtland at Kirtland. We actually had that game for you in, I believe, week 3
Yeah.
of the high school football season. That was a 58-game home win streak that dated back to 2016 that Perry snapped at Kirtland. Of course, since then, Kirtland snapped and decided to blow everybody out. And Perry, of course,
you know what's amazing about that? I believe Kirtland went like, 5 or 6 straight weeks after that game without giving up a score.
Yeah.
Not field goal, a score. There's been all shutouts to that point. Crestwood, though, the Red Devils, a great season for them. Getting us 16th seed, counting out the 13th seed. They're going to face off, again, unofficially. Official matchups will be announced tomorrow. Against Harrison Central, 8-2. And then Berkshire will face off against Ridgewood, 10-7 matchup. Coming up next week, Division 5, Region 17.
Yeah. As still getting checked on there on the sideline is, of course, Rocco Wrestler. But boy, let's talk about Division 6 too. We got some teams out there in the CVC that are looking to try and make some noise as well.
Yeah, we do. Got an 8-9 matchup. Cardinal out of Middlefield. We had their matchup earlier in the year. 6-4. They will go on the road. They're going to hit the Canton. They're going to face Central Catholic.
That could possibly be one of the best games we're going to see in the playoffs. As Wrestler is able to get up and shake some things up. Maybe cramping a little bit. He's able to walk up under his own power. Good to see. He's had a great game tonight and a great season as number 5 for the white and blue down there. Looking at a couple other teams too. The team that we're actually here, they're hosting us tonight in this matchup with Trinity. They're, of course, let Trinity use the stadium for their home games. Cuyahoga Heights, they're going to be in action too.
Yeah, against Rittman. And Cuyahoga Heights, they...
Fantastic season, by the way.
Yeah, it's their standard of excellence. Every year, we talk to Coach Al Martin, and it's just this is what they do.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Just seeing that as it's going to be a first down on the 37-yard line. We'll talk about the last team that's on the way too.
Yeah, we'll save the
the perennial powerhouse for last. Is still pushing forward, not going down, still rolling through and near a first down. Chipping this again.
It's going to be the retaliation. That's where the flag's probably going to come from.
As Kornick got the carry and just would not go down. He got 9. He only should have got about 3, but he just kept spinning and turning and churning those legs.
Yeah, this is becoming something.
talk about it. These two schools not separated by much, fairly close. It's a division rivalry here too, and there's a lot on the line in this last game. Not maybe for playoff implications, but again for pride too. It's divisional. It's important.
True, and all that is true. But you want a clean football game,
you
too.
do, and there's been a lot of penalties tonight on both sides of the ball as well, as that one's going to get moved up inside the 40 to the 39 on sportsmanlike conduct, so that's going to bring up another first down for Independence. 8:20 to go in this ball game.
They might go up top again.
Narduzzi looking, it looks like it's a screen. Instead, it's going to be dumped off to Joliffe. He's got someone to run at the middle. Joliffe cutting through into the 5 and a touchdown. Ty Joliffe, 39 yards for the score. His second touchdown of the night.
Watch the blocking off of the screen.
Oh.
And I don't think he was touched at all.
Duncan almost got in there and just could not catch up. And Joliffe gets in for the touchdown again. His second receiving touchdown of the night. This one goes for 39. And fantastic night continues for the quarterback, Dominic Narduzzi. For 17, his third passing touchdown of the evening. Had the interception to start the third quarter, but since then again, starting to get back on track, and a timeout going to get called by Independence. 28-0 the score. The Blue Devils on top of the Trojans. Of course, pending this extra point on the way. Fantastic night for Cy Joliffe, one of the seniors on this this team too. A couple of touchdown catches. He's also got a couple of sacks on the defensive end. He's been all over the field tonight.
Absolutely, he's been able to get things going. I love that play call there. I love, just offensively, you realize, okay, Trinity might be coming in a little bit more aggressively. I thought, and I said before the play, Independence was going to go over the top, but that play call was even better because you take advantage of their aggressiveness and you don't have anybody left. Literally what happened. You created the blocks and Trinity had nobody left at the fence. They got that big score and a big touchdown.
And gashed him right down the middle to make this now a 4-score game, pending this extra point, and big night.
And again, think about it, how the score flipped. Not that long ago, Trinity was at, the 1-yard line, the 2-yard line. And, after a penalty, put the ball on the ground. Independence able to drive right down.
Yep, so we're going to go for 2 here. Narduzzi again in that shotgun. He's going to look to pass. Throw to the outside. It's a deep post. It's tipped and incomplete. So the score going to remain 28-0 with 8:07 to go in this ball game. The Blue Devils hold on to a 4-touchdown lead over the home Trinity Trojans. Double-A, the last matchup we're going to see in Division 6, Region 21.
You're eyeing that last match, so you go ahead and just say what it is.
Well, it's probably the most shocking team, right, of everyone that we talked about at this point. Kirtland's always seemed like they're around, and 9-1 this season. Only loss coming to Perry, who is undefeated. They're going to face Columbiana in that 1 versus 16 matchup. Kirtland obviously one of the favorites across the state.
Across the state.
One of the best run programs, of course. Tiger Laverde and company out there having a fantastic season again. And you mentioned, after that loss to Perry, they took it personally. Multiple shutouts in multiple consecutive weeks. They have been on a tear since that loss, starting a new streak in their own right. And no reason to believe it's going to change anytime soon.
And here's the crazy thing. If Kirtland goes all the way and wins the state final, and Kirtland the last couple of years, they've been to the state final, they've not won it.
Yeah.
They want to get across the finish line and, go through and win the state championship. But I guarantee you, we watch our Spectrum, coming in December, if they win a state championship, they will mention the Perry game as the
100%.
turning point of the season.
We talked about that too. We've seen it a lot too. In programs like that where there's a lot of success, sometimes it's easy to get bogged down and maybe get to that moment but not be able to fully capture it, because there's obviously other schools too that have had dominant runs in any division here in Ohio high school football. That being said, a loss like that at home of all places too, not on the road at Perry, but at home, can definitely cause some concern there. Here comes Muniz on the return from his own 10, breaking through, and again, that's been the story of the night for Trinity. Been able to break that first tackle, but it's the second, third, fourth, and fifth defenders that have been able to get in shortly after that have not been able to get any big plays. Flag coming in late, another late flag. Maybe some taunting there on the field. Looks like maybe Independence is going back and forth with these guys again.
I want to quickly go, they'll make the determination on the penalty. We're looking at it now. It's against
First
Trinity.
Yeah, so I almost moved back against the Trojans.
I think their decision, Independence, to go for 2. It wasn't like a running up the score kind of thing.
Even number.
But yeah, I actually think 30 running clock would have started. Get them out of here.
Yeah, it's getting to the point too. Chippiness down there too. You want to make sure everyone stays calm, cool, and collected in these moments. Zane Duncan and company coming back out on offense, and they've got some work to do. That ball going to get spotted, I believe, at about the 10. So a long field for the Trojans, who again on offense, we've seen some glimpses here and there, but there's nothing concrete to get them into that end zone. Ball actually going to be placed at about the 9.
And again, it's just that the dominance of the front 7 we talked about. Secondary, I haven't mentioned the secondary much because they haven't been attacked much. But when they've had to, they have handled business.
Duncan throwing the ball out to the left to McKenzie, who gets maybe a gain of about 2. It's McKenzie's 3rd catch of the night.
Good response, I believe Carson Howard there on the outside.
This is where the Blue Devils have seen some success, though, spreading the field and actually getting the ball out quick. Pass to the outside, that's going to be incomplete over the head of the intended receiver, which is McKenzie. So a quick 3rd down.
Yeah, it's just Trinity, just their offense, for the exception of, even that drive, it was just penalties and stuff. But just offensively, just not in sync at all.
Yeah, one of those key factors to Theo Jackson. Every time a big run or big play happened, unfortunately, a penalty came after it. Some chippiness down the field, almost negating some of those big plays. And it's resulted in Trinity not being able to really gather a lot of momentum in these drives to get points on the board. And again, facing another 3rd and fairly long, 7 yards on their own 12-yard line. Duncan looking to pass. Gonna roll, he's under trouble. He's gonna be able to avoid 1 and avoid 2. Duncan still rolling, trying to find a man. He's gonna run it, and he's gonna get it out of bounds. Probably a couple yards short of that 1st down marker.
Yeah, that was a good effort there for Duncan, but defense right on it. The secondary taking away, just like they've been doing all night, taking away the deep threats at receiver and just making things happen.
And if you could talk to the defensive coaching staff for Independence, say, hey, Aiden Duncan, only 15 carries for 22 yards, just over a yard per carry. They take that any day of the week. If he usually gets 15 carries, we're talking about maybe triple digits on the yard marker, but he's been able to be kept in check tonight.
And nothing's going like upfield either. Like, it's just, they've made Duncan go side to side. He's not had much success going vertical upfield, and that's just the dominance up front, the defensive line.
Duncan to take that timeout here is it'll be the final timeout of the ball game for the Trojans.
I think just looking at some of the teams that we're going to see starting next week, we'll have the games. We'll figure out which one we'll have, but we'll have one of the CVC playoff games on Friday.
Got some options, and if you folks obviously want to reach out to Double A or myself on social media, of course, you can do so on Twitter, Facebook. Let us know what you want to see. We're open to the possibility of some of these games. We have a few that we're looking at that look really intriguing, of course, but want to get your guys' input as well. The fans want to see what you guys want to see out there. Of course, that means every team that made the playoffs, we're going to have their fans messaging us and cover our team.
What is this? We're doing a poll here?
You know what? It's a possibility. We could technically do that. You do have that kind of following.
Well, it would be easy to do a poll if, like, 2 teams got in. You was like, you want to see this team or that team?
Putting 12 teams on a poll.
We can't do a 12-team poll.
Well, we should limit it down. We should find, the best 3 or 4 options and then obviously present that to the folks and see what they think they want to see here. Is Duncan going to punt this ball away? Solid punt, going to be taken in a fair catch at about the 50-yard line.
Good call on the fair catch.
Yep, smart there. No chance for a return. Just take the ball at the 50, and that's where it's going to start. 7:13 to go in the ball game. That's where Independence will bring the ball back out on offense. I think that's a good idea. I think if we talk to the powers that be, maybe whittle that list down to 3 or 4 games, maybe we let the fans decide.
Maybe. Well, maybe. Well, we'll see.
Notice there's that maybe in there, obviously. It's not a for sure. Steve is listening right now going, what are they talking about?
I'm not emphasizing the maybe. I'm greatly saying maybe. there. No, but it'll be great for.
It's nice to have options. I'll tell you what, when 12 teams make the playoffs.
But that shows, again, it shows the strength of our conference.
Yeah.
And it shows even throughout, like, there's a lot of great football teams, including the two we're seeing tonight, that were in contention all the way going into Week 10.
Yeah. And it'll be handoff up the middle. Still going on his feet. Big run. And that's the big man. Hey, 63, the offensive lineman. Tommy Urban Sr. We're seeing linemen run the ball all this week.
This is the week to do it. This is the week to do it. We talked about it last night in Orange. Like, your linemen, they're the leaders of the team. And they're egging on coach like, hey, give me the football. Give me the football.
Tommy Urban with 20 yards double A and first down. He's still back there. Gonna get it again. Look at Urban cutting inside, and he's gonna get brought down there.
I will credit the defender there
for getting in front of Tommy Urban. Yeah, 'cause that's not an easy task.
And making the tackle, because I don't think a lot of defenders are ever motivated to take down a big man.
Looks like Kornick gonna head back into his normal spot as the tailback, as we're gonna get second and about 9.
That gives the coach an excuse. Say, yeah, that's enough.
Got you 2.
I got you 2. It's not tape 2.
He could say he had a 20-yard run as well, which is impressive. Hard for anybody to do that. It's going to be a carry for Kornick up the middle. He'll get roughly 3 yards or so in the play, so going to be third medium.
Definitely opportunity here as looking to get the final plays in. Close to staying out.
We should have done that. There was a Vegas over-under odds how many linemen were going to get a carry tonight.
We should have.
I think the line was officially 1.5. We're still playing the under, but there's still time. So we'll see what happens. Narduzzi in the shotgun. Now with the pass. Going to throw, and the ball's a jump ball up, and it is to Crooks, and incomplete. Almost intercepted.
That was right through the hands of Duncan, I believe.
Yeah, Duncan was back there, as well as the other guy who made the first interception, Lance Hudson, in this game. That ball falls incomplete. Looking to go to Sam Crooks on the outside. Again, you get a 6'4 receiver. You'll throw that ball up. Why not? Give him a chance.
Absolutely.
And I think they're going to maybe line up for a field goal here. Are we hearing that correctly?
I think there's a...
Now, we have seen Kornick be able to boot that ball almost into some houses over there in backyards.
Absolutely.
See if that's what we're going to do here.
Now, Aiden Duncan is lined up right at the end zone, just in case.
Just in case
the
ball gets, or the field goal gets returned if it's caught.
Yep.
So this is a 44-yard attempt. Tell you what, we haven't seen only one field goal this year. We're going to see another. That one's got plenty of distance. It's up, and it is off the crossbar and good.
Oh, it's tipped in!
Oh! Wow! What a kick! Jack Kornick, 44 yards.
I can't believe it.
9 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. 13 games, 1 made field goal. We have 2 tonight.
I can't believe that ball tipped in.
Wow. Jack Kornick puts it through from 44 yards. What a kick. Tell you what, love to see that.
And what that does, with that made field goal, we are now in a running clock once things get situated after the kickoff. But incredible.
44-yard field goal.
And Duncan, and here's crazy. So Aiden Duncan was back there. He's ready to catch it just in case.
Yeah.
It was short. And even he saw, he waved it off like, yeah, something's going to happen.
Once the ball left the foot, we knew, okay, this has got a chance. And
absolutely.
Through the cold air here, the tail parts of October, that ball still soared through and got in for 3 points. How about that?
And yeah,
Coach almost jumped through the screens here and through the windows in excitement on that.
I don't know if any of that was picked up on a microphone. That was.
Oh, I promise you it was. Solid job by Independence now. That lead 31-0 here tonight. Kickoff going to be directionally shot down to about the 20. It's bobbled. The ball still on the ground and eventually picked up by Muniz, who was able to fall on it. So it's going to be 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line.
Absolutely, and now we are under a running clock unless Trinity's able to get a score on the board, but this could be the final possession for them offensively.
Last time you saw a 44-yard field goal in high school football, Double A? I'm going to give you a hint for me. The answer is never.
Well, it probably happened against us. I don't think it ever happened. I don't think we ever did it in Maple.
Back in your days of playing, yeah, about that.
Yeah, I don't think it happened.
No.
We had one summer where we actually had a kicker. One training camp we had a kicker, and then he transferred. We lost him to a soccer team.
We actually our kicker was a soccer player too, Joe Glover. Shout out to Joe up in Parma. Actually kicked the game winner against Normandy.
Yeah, there you go.
Parma-Normandy rivalry over in Northeast Ohio big. For when Parma was still a school.
Yeah. Oh yeah, how about that?
Yeah, Hudson with the catch there.
Want to get into what's going on at your local school district? Probably not.
Maybe we hold off on that one just a little bit. Want to make sure we can stay on the air here. So he rolls out to the right, looking to throw. It's going to be a pass. It's low, and that's incomplete. He was looking to try and get A.J. McGinn on the carry, and he can't bring it in, so it's going to be third down and short coming up.
But, I just can't stress enough now. Let's get to the point where, you're a senior out there. And we talked a little bit about this last night, but it's mixed emotions, right? Some are, quite went through it, but it's like it's time to move forward. And, but also at the same time, it's like, after this game, you may not be able to ever put those pads back on. And, the reality of it, this point of the game starts to sink in.
Well, the good news is, of course, both these teams have bright futures, especially next season, too. Going to have a couple of senior quarterbacks in the CVC. Looking forward to see Aiden Duncan and another throw and completion there, of course. Dominic Narduzzi, the quarterback for Independence, going to be fun to watch. Good catch there by Darian Smith.
But what's great? Like, every coach we talk to, and across the conference, across high school football, they're proud of their seniors. Let's get this play in here.
Duncan going to throw the ball up. He's got a receiver, but it's going to be incomplete. Was looking for McKenzie, and the ball flails out of bounds. But 2 minutes to go.
But they're proud of their seniors, obviously, what they've done for their program. But they're equally looking forward to, what's next and what impact they're going to make, in their lives, in their communities, what they're going to do next afterwards. And, those things are really cool. I don't know how many coaching staffs that we interact with where you see former players return to the staff, because they understand, what it's like to be a part of their program. They want to give back to the younger generation. So, those things are really cool.
Aiden Duncan going to roll out to his left. He's got a man wrapped around, and it's going to be a sack. Third of the night. That coming from 63 of Independence. That being Tommy Erdman. We saw the 20-yard run. Now more on defense, more of his normal role. Gets the sack there.
Absolutely. And, you're going to go all out because, you want to be, if you're on defense, you want to get those last couple of tackles before the game ends.
Yep, just about a minute to go in this ball game. 31-0. The Blue Devils on top of the home Trinity Trojans. Duncan going to bounce back out to his left and try and throw across his body. It's to the outside, and that is going to be caught. Wow. Lance Hudson with the great catch.
Yeah, that was a good roll out there.
Solid gain of about, I want to say 12 and a first down. It's Hudson's third catch of the night. Duncan again going to throw the ball up. He's going to launch it. It's going to go just out of reach of his receiver. Looking for Hudson again. 30 seconds and change remaining. 9 completions, 3 different receivers. McKenzie, Hudson, and Smith, each with 3 catches apiece tonight. Duncan now 9 of 17 after a tough first half. He was just 1 of 5, able to kind of find some rhythm in the passing game, but again, couldn't put together a long, sustained drive, and the result in no points, so there is still probably going to be one more play here.
Yeah, they want to get to that end zone.
Going over the middle, it is caught. McKenzie's got some room, going to turn upfield, try and keep this play alive. He's going to cut and get brought down at the 35-yard line, and that is going to do it for the regular season in high school football. The final score tonight, 31-0. Independence comes in on the road and wins their 4th consecutive game to close out the year. Close, but unfortunately no playoffs, but a great end of the season for the Blue Devils. AA, both these teams, the future is bright, obviously. 12 total seniors, 5 on Trinity's side, 7 on Independence side, getting sent off tonight. Of course, talking about both these teams, man, let's wrap it up and kind of their futures and what's ahead for both these programs as we move into the next year.
Well, the immediate future, for both of these teams, they, played off well. Independence in their season, with a W, and Trinity, things happen and things didn't turn out the way they wanted to. But both these teams ought to be proud. They sent their seniors off well, and the equipment turned in sad, but all the memories that you built with your team, starting in the summer, in the camp, and throughout the regular season, it's cool to see. And some of these players are going to go on to other sports in the winter and spring, so they'll take a few weeks off, get their bodies recovered, get ready for basketball, wrestling, or baseball, track, whatever they may do, and go from there. But overall, great win for Independence. Trinity, not they want it in this way, but it happened, and you learn and you move forward.
Definitely do, of course. The CVC TV player of the game tonight. Fantastic game for Dominic Narduzzi, 10 of 18, 166 yards, 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. Also 11 carries for 55 yards and a rushing touchdown. 4 total scores. How an honorable mention to Jack Gorenick, 2 for 2 for field goals. Again, we had 1 made field goal on CVC TV the entire way through the season. 2 tonight, including 1 from 44 yards away. Also, he ran the ball pretty well, made some plays on defense. Jack Gorenick, one of the seniors, double I was talking about too, is Independence, seeing their alma mater with their student section, one of the best we've seen all season long. And looking forward to see them next year.
And we always say, we talk about the football team, of course, that's what we're covering, but, it's the last game for the bands, last game for the cheerleaders, so, Independence, obviously, they're not far away from here. Just a quick drive off,
They might jog home, might be excited.
Absolutely, but this is exciting. For them, it actually feels like a home game almost.
Almost does, yeah. Both sides on both sets of fans on this side, too. Double A, well, that's going to wrap it up for us. I want to thank, of course, sponsors for CVC TV, Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery, Dr. Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Joe Weber. Also want to thank, of course, Independence Business Supply, our scoreboard sponsor for the entire season, regular season 2, but we're not done. We have playoff football coming up next week. Who we have? Well, you have to just tune in and find out. I'll tell you guys coming up in the coming days here as those matchups officially get set. But we have options, 12 CVC teams making the postseason. Keep you guys in the loop as far as who we're going to face. Of course, I want to thank all the production staff, the camera guys, of course, people in the truck making us stay on and sound good. Of course, Double A Anthony offered my co-announcer. Thank you, man, for the great regular season. Looking forward to playoff football with you as well.
Let's go.
It's going to be awesome. Looking forward to this journey as we get closer and closer to Canton. It's going to be a fun ride, and we're looking to have you join us along the way, too. Final score tonight, of course, from Ralph P. Adams Stadium in Cuyahoga Heights, 31-0. The Independence Blue Devils finish the season 4-6, and on the 4-game win streak, Trinity falls to 3-7 on the year. We'll see you guys next week. Playoff football, Ohio High School playoff football. Looking forward to that. Until then, have a great night, great weekend. We'll see you next Friday.